Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Gilmore Auto Musuem Carrera digital race sponsored by NSR and Professor Motors. We are live. I apologize for running a little late. We were troubleshooting some track issues, and we are now getting ready to have the drivers meeting. So let's switch over. So here we go. Let me see if I can get over there and listen in.
Concepts I want to do with the RC car project and adapt it to real life. Some cool knowledge. There was I forgot what racetrack he talked about, but there was a guy that put a turbo D axle into a dragster.
Oh, that was years ago, yeah. That car ran for a couple of years.
From what I heard, it ran once. From the story I heard, he drove it, and it actually burnt up the parachute, and he drove right through the sand trap into the thing. Got out of the car, white as a ghost. Got it shipped back to his house, and it's just up in his garage right now. It scared him that much.
Taking care of the race first. Race was first.
He was just like, if you're going to do that again, tell me. I'll get an Uber.
Lost an axle. Now we got to fix our car.
This is Phil. Phil is a volunteer out here at the Gilmore Auto Musuem. So, Oliver.
The team that I'm in, my understanding is, we're controller number 2. All you guys don't need to know anything. If you have a problem, run around. We'll do laps. That's all. Enough said on that.
Is on the screen. Your team name will be the color of your team name is the color of your controller. For easy access, and you guys can look up. Okay.
And again, there's a screen on the back side too. We are going to also require the drive.
Another view of the track. Hopefully this audio is coming through.
Everyone, every team is going to be assigned one, but here again, it's one of those things where I want to just rotate guys, right? So if our drivers are rotating, I would like our marshals to kind of rotate too, so that the same guy's not always in the same spot all the time, okay? So just everybody shift to the right when the drivers are changing. That way we get everyone kind of rotated around the track, okay? One other thing that can happen, occasionally you might get the automatic lane change that you didn't call for. So again, you know, the idea is if you're behind somebody in the same lane, it's the responsibility of the faster car to pass the other car. So it's your responsibility to change lanes and go around. But again, like I said, you're not supposed to be trying to block and knock people off. Again, if it happens,
So Oliver from Professor Motor is explaining how he expects the drivers to drive. Warren from Light Tech slots over there. And him beside him left.
Clearly you can see someone's coming. They're coming so hard that they're going to hit you if you change lanes. Don't change lanes. But if you need to adjust your line for your next corner, your favorite thing, that's part of racing. Every racetrack in the world has someone who's in your way intentionally and forcing you to the bad line. Right? So we're not saying don't take advantage of digital technology to pick the line you want to be on for some corner. We're just saying, guys, when you're going to a lane changer and you're right next to each other, just don't change lanes. Right? We have not put in space. Chose to not put in DRS solutions anti-collision chips because we actually want people to understand, right? Instead of the computer deciding what you're going to do with a lane. You're making racing decisions, right? So that's where it is. No, you're good. You're good.
And only to point out about lane changes, we saw people going from inside to outside. We never had outside to inside. It was always inside to outside. Usually right up here. Yeah. This is before the Wi-Fi got pulled.
Guys, the rest of the
The marshal. Now that you know this is ever the marshaling, understand that there could be a lane change. Just pay attention.
the other thing in the pit, guys, you are going to have to pit a few times each driver. I'll tell you right now, you're going to have to pit a few times for fuel for sure, each driver. So if you're coming around the pit, you don't need gas, but somebody's in there and they're going to be leaving. It's an idea maybe to either not be in that exit lane or be conscious of where that person's at if they're coming up, you're exiting or whatever, right? So if you're coming up and you can get over, great. But if you're exiting, make sure you don't just pull out and wipe somebody out, right? Try and be conscious of if somebody's racing down here, right? That you're not just pulling right out and whacking. Right?
And when we pit, do we refuel
unless
by
we're in
holding
last
the
place.
change button?
No. If the first place racer's in the pit, we're in last place, and you're in third place, knock the first place driver off the track so we can get by. We're trying to get out of last place. Got that? So remember, or the lesson that's really in that statement is just be conscientious about the pit lane because it's costing your team laps. As we all know, it's better to keep moving than to crash.
I just want to make sure the marshals are all aware that we've got a dead spot in every switch. Not going to be common for someone being careful.
Yeah, but you've got to be going for your car to stop on.
Never push them back.
Yep.
Question about
So Joe, go ahead. You can explain the
Okay, so when everyone comes in, you know you have to pass the fuel
The fuel sensor has markings on it right here. It will be hard to see, but it's right when you, as soon as you get straight, you're passing the sensor.
Okay.
Then you can stop anywhere in here. Okay.
So the only other thing I want to add to that, because we're using the smart race.
You do have to be careful though, right? If you stop and then try and go.
Okay. You can all the way to the until you exit. Don't exit. You can just, if you remember, guys. The only other thing in this system, because the cars are lighter, if you don't hit that sensor and it doesn't catch, you will not be refueling. Instead of saying, hey, I have no choice to do another lap. lap. It's just, so watch that gauge moving up right away. You have to. You're gonna have to. But at least you don't have to stress the button. As soon as you see that sensor, look up.
And where your laps not count.
Your laps will not count.
No lights on these cars.
What stops us from fueling?
Yeah, so you pull off and you're fueling.
Yeah.
Is there a sensor as you go?
Smart Race knows when you're back racing. As soon as that trigger, a certain percentage, you go. You don't cruise all the way around the track. I think there's a penalty for that.
You hear that? Everybody keep your eyes on Brad. If he's still moving the whole time.
All right, I think the driver's meeting is over. So I'll do a little walk around. We have a long front straight coming across. This is the driver's platform where they'll be driving, and you're up high enough that you can see really well the whole track. You notice the centerpiece. This is a Ford GT prototype here at the Gilmore, and they were gracious enough to put it in the middle of the room. And this is a new building they just finished building not too long ago. It's gorgeous. And guys, there's an awesome car show going on. If you find yourself near, this is near Kalamazoo in Hickory Corner, I believe, Michigan. This is a beautiful complex, beautiful farm. I've got some information I'll share later about the Gilmore Car Museum, but we've got some lane changers right at the end of this long stretch. We got the hairpin at the end. I'm going to have a close-up of that shot because there's going to be lots of crashes there. You got the left-hander, kink back to the right, kink to the left, short shoot into a nice left hand. This is combination Carrera track and scale auto. So you can see the transition from Carrera to scale auto. So it's an interesting setup. We're using Smart Race today because they were having issues. Just lots of different things going on today. And so they're using Smart Race. I don't have a way to get that on my screen for the live stream, so I apologize. So I will use this camera to get some close-ups to give us an idea of what's going on. So another short shoot, and there's where the pit is on that far side. So it's a short, small, single pit, and then into two left-handers, and then back into the long straight. Now we're running NSR GT cars. Here are the cars, the team cars. So this is Warren and Joe. They are running in the, I would say, the yellow lane. And so when you see this leaderboard, that's those guys. That's Team Maple Syrup. They're running a C8 Corvette. The red team, I don't have names yet, so I'll work on that. They are running a McLaren. Then we got the AMG, and then we got another C8, and that's Jim Cunningham's car there, the Omni Slot Box sponsorship. Seemed to be a quick car. We've got another McLaren for the green team, and then we also have, is that another AMG? What is that? C7 in the white lane. So they're using Frankenslot wireless controllers. So that's what we've got going on. And they will be starting the race very soon. Here's a quick look at my setup. Got a couple microphones today. We've got running the Rodecaster Pro for audio. Sony with the main cam, using an Osmo DJI Osmo Pocket 3 up here for the full track view. And then I'm using my iPhone as camera 3. So, yeah, there we go. So, gentlemen, I will try to do my best to give you a decent view of this this track. So there, that is going to be sort of our main view. I can bump to the left just a touch so we can get them going down that straight. There we go. So that's going to be one shot. I do have the ability to snap quickly to the hairpin here. So we'll go to this shot for a little bit. Oh, I know what happened. I bumped my camera. All right. So let's do that. So I need to check up on the chat and see what's going on. We are getting ready to start. This is a 3-hour endurance race. I will try to bring in some interviews when I can, and see who we can't talk to. I know Jim Cunningham is wanting to come on. I know Warren and Joe will jump on and talk when they're not racing for a minute. John Erdman's here, been doing a ton of work. I'm sure Oliver has had some guys helping out, Phil and John, and a bunch of others that have been here working on setting up this track, getting everything together for it. So really appreciate all the volunteers that have helped. It's been great. So again, if you're just tuning in, we are live at the Gilmore Car Museum in Hickory Car Museum here in Michigan. It is in Hickory Corner, Michigan. And just a little bit before we get started with the race. We're good. Genevieve and Donald Gilmore, and you may recognize that name because Gilmore was on the side of an Indy car at the Indianapolis 500 for a number of years. And back in the 60s, they decided they wanted to share their love and history and passion for automobiles, and they started sharing their collection here on this beautiful farm. And it's not just a building. Like the whole facility, there's an old style Shell gas station. It's like a little town built here on this farm. Beautiful buildings, wonderful collection. I just did a run through. I was trying to create some video to share during the live stream of some of the cars in the collection. And then there's also a big car show going on today. And so there are hundreds of cars here. So I probably have to release a different video to share that because I don't think I can get it in the system fast enough. But so Genevieve and Donald Gilmore, they shared this, their passion for racing and cars and automobiles, and wanted to share that history and heritage with the public. So they started building this car museum, and they started building the collection, and it was in the early 60s. Began collecting vintage automobiles. The first vehicle in the collection was a 1927 Ford Model T, a 1913 Rolls Royce, and a 1920 Pace Aero. which are still part of the collection here. There is a barn that you walk through that's 2 stories, and some beautiful old, early cars from the teens and the 20s, turn of the century stuff that is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a beautiful Duesenberg. Then they have race cars, some old NASCAR. They've got the Hornet, the Hudson Hornet on display. They have some old Indy cars that A.J. Foyt drove, and the Gilmore name is on the side of it, which is incredible. The orange number 14 Indy cars. Just beautiful collection. And it's on 90 acres here in Hickory Corners. Small little town. And now the museum has over 400 vehicles on display in over 209,000 square feet of exhibit space. So it's just amazing. And if you watch the Mecum and Barrett-Jackson auctions, you've probably heard that name before because they've purchased some amazing cars for that. The car that's sitting in the middle of our track today, that Professor Motors, Oliver from Professor Motor has put together, is a GT40 prototype from Ford that is part of the collection here, and they moved it out here just to be the centerpiece of our track, which is amazing. So that's just a little bit about the museum. It started as a hobby. Donald Gilmore, he is a businessman from Kalamazoo. He was the chairman of the Upjohn Company when he started the museum in 1963. In 66, it had 35 cars on display. It was open to the public. It is a 501c3 nonprofit institution, and it's dedicated to preserving the history and heritage of the automobile here in the United States. The museum is open year-round, and it has just this beautiful campus open from the outer buildings are open from April 1st to November 30th. So they have a nice gift shop, some cool T-shirts, and all kinds of collectibles you can get there to support the museum. I plan on stopping by on my way out. Pretty cool. Like I said, 90 acres, just tons of exhibits, over 400 cars. The oldest car on the exhibit is the 1899 Locomobile steam car. The Gnome Mobile from the 1967 Disney feature film, The Gnome Mobile, is here. And that's a movie set that they've reproduced here. And then there's a 1930 Rolls Royce, which was a personal gift to the museum from Walt Disney. They have over 100 vintage pedal cars on display, which was really pretty cool. And it's actually, the campus is actually home to quite a few different collections. And so here we are. We're getting ready to start the race. So guys, yeah, this is what my camera looks like because we have so much backlight. We have so much backlight. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But I'll do my best. So as you can see behind me, you can't really see me because I'm in the shadow, and I didn't have room. We are dealing with tons of wind, so I apologize for the wind noise in the microphone. But here we go. We're going to start the race. Let's go back to the main shot. We have 6 teams. We have Team Maple Syrup, which is Warren and Joe from Canada. They are running an NSR C8. We got the Decoders of the Lost Lap. That is Jim Cunningham, his team from Arkansas. And we'll try to get these guys on if we can throughout the race. just so we can learn who they are, and yeah, should be fun. We have Team Old Guys, Team Blue Water, which is John Erdman. Shout out to John. John's done a ton of work for this event. I met John at the Nationals last year, and has a really nice wood track at his place. For Team Blue Water, North Hoffman, and then the Rerun Racers. So those are your 6 teams. We'll get to learn more about them as we go. And here we are, ready for the start. This is a 3-hour endurance race. You can swap out drivers anytime you want, as long as the car is in the pits. And we'll just continue to go on from there. Let's see what our tight shot looks like. Oh. And here's the start. And we have a pile up in the first turn, which was to be expected. Here we go. We're back at it. First track call was a missed call. Got a pile up. I think our track marshals are going to be busy today. I think learning to hit the brakes before the big turn here. Let's watch a little bit of that action since guys are still struggling. So I'll let you guys see some of that. We have a track call. Running some issues. So I'm going to skip back in and say hello. John Tucci was in, HSF was in, Big Oak was in earlier. That was during the test. And then, so Greg, I'll try to handle some of the questions. There will be 6 teams on the track. So the event was limited to 6 teams. Hey, Chris. Yes, Chris, it looks like everybody's going to have fun. Hey, Josh. Josh, missing out on a fun event. I think Team Grizzly would have a good shot here. Hey, Craig Guernsey. Nico. Sorry, Nico. Not much information so far. A lot of space for improvement there. Sorry about that. Apologize. I was late. Did he get caught smuggling there? Maybe Joe is helping Marty. Hello, Ian. Tests seem good. Thanks, Ian. We had a little difficulty running had a little bit of difficulty getting things set up, running the software, and we had some interference going on with the building. Somebody turned a Wi-Fi network on, and it was wreaking havoc with the controllers. So they got that taken care of, and we're good to go. And now we're troubleshooting the fuel issue. So, there we go. I see some cars, but they hardly move. Yep, sorry guys. I apologize. Yeah, we probably should have went with wired controllers. Okay, fuel is turned on. Looks like everything is back in order. Sorry, Chris. Yes, Jen, it is a beautiful setup with the GT40 sitting in the middle. Gorgeous facility. Hey, Mike. Yeah, Mike, the venue is incredible. There is so much going on. Some beautiful cars on display for the car show. And then the museum itself just has an amazing collection that I spent about 10 minutes running through with my camera. So I'll do my best to get some footage out there. But yes, incredible. Incredible. But the cool thing about this is there's thousands of people here for the car show. And so we've got a lot of spectators standing around watching back behind me and sitting at some tables over to the right of the screen that you can't see. So, Chris, thanks. This could be a train wreck, man. I would win this race easily. My opponents can't find their throttles. Doug, Marty, did Massimo make it there because of his past Friday? The guys didn't know. Doug, MP did not make it. He had some conflicts with work and wasn't able to escape those, which I hated because I was hoping that I'd get a chance to meet MP in person. So Massimo, if you're watching, we miss you, buddy. It would have been great to catch dinner last night. Joe from Carrera and Warren from Litech Slots, we met up and grabbed some food and just had an amazing conversation. So, yep, fashionably late. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Nico. I didn't mean to be late. The guys, it would have been just video of a bunch of people panicked trying to figure out what's going on. Is the feed working now? All I can see is the live chat. Sorry, GST. It is working now. I was just a little late. Sorry, Chris. Again, my apologies. Let's go racing. Hey, Slightly Mad. Fox and Wolves. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. HSF is in the house. Big Oak, no video. I think we're up and running now. Let me know in the chat if you guys if everything's going okay. Hello, Michael Squire. Raul, nice red SRT10 in the background there. Raul, yeah, there's a lot of nice cars. I'll send you some pictures, dude. This place is pretty incredible. Hey, Ernest. Thanks for tuning in. I was going to park my GT in the center of my track too, but I don't have one. I put my GT slot car in the middle of the track. Hey, Dusty. Guys, it's a beautiful day out there. Thanks for tuning in to this live stream. I appreciate it. We were just kind of working out some bugs, I think. So, and here we go. And then track call immediately. So we're finding out that digital, we've got some lane changers that are not playing nice. And I don't know if it's the Carrera and Scale Auto track working together or not working together. I kind of doubt that that's the case. or if we're just fighting some crazy interference with everything that's going on out here. So, but we're diligently working it out. I can't see to get a rundown of who's in the lead, but it looks like we've got green, white, red, orange. Yeah, it's hard to tell on the screen from here. But I'll get an update. How are the sight lines of the track that big? It's spread out. Up on the driver's stand, it's pretty good. It looks like Oliver built a driver's stand that probably gets used for the Nationals. But if you're up on the driver's stand, the sight line's not bad. You can actually see up over the GT40 to see that back kink and stretch. I think the hard thing is seeing the lane changers and where they're at, because they just kind of blend in from that distance, because it is a big track. The track is about 50 feet. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. About 56 feet in length and about 30 feet in width. 25 feet. So if you have any questions, put a Q in front of it so I see that it's a question. Outside of that, I won't interrupt any of the conversations in the chat. I'll just try to give you a commentary on what we're seeing. Does anyone know who else is driving with Joe and Warren? They picked up another driver. I was going to drive with him. I didn't get one practice lap in, not one, because I was working on getting the live stream together. But they found they had some spare guys around that jumped on a couple of the teams. So I don't know who's driving with them, Big Oak, but they've got a third. Joe is representing his Subaru colors. That's right. Hey, MB Auto Detail. What's up? Hey, MB. Yeah, I don't know who the camera guy is. But I'll give him your best. Hey, 060 Trains. What's up, Harry? They are running counterclockwise, yes. Hey, Ron. Driving only listening, driving at the moment. Yep, I understand. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. That's the key today, is keep it in the slot. And people are struggling. Raul, this is a 3-hour endurance race. So right now we're set to finish around 4 o'clock. We need to stop making track calls. Gotcha, Harry. I recognize that your channel changed names. Hey, Lucy Fur Raceway. What's up? So shout out to all the guys that are marshalling today. They're gonna get their workout today. Thanks, Ernest. Appreciate that. Like and subscribe. Go out there and find the Gilmore Car Museum. Follow them. Hey, Jan. Thanks for joining. So yeah, we got a nice crowd. People checking out slot car racing. Over in the corner, we have a slot car track that the public can race on, and then there's actually Professor Motor provides a slot car track inside the museum that kids can play on and run some digital cars, and they've got the NASCARs. that comment. So we're starting to see some first pit stops. So it looks like about every 15 to 20 laps. I'm looking at the scoreboard, the leaderboard. So are you guys getting enough of the track sounds? I feel like I'm got some noise gates on because I'm dealing with a lot of wind. So I want you to be able to hear some of the track. There's a lot of noise going on. All right, little action from the hairpin. So this hairpin turn, since the borders are so small on the scale auto, that you can actually almost ride the wall if your car will stay in the slot. And so, as you can see, some of those cars are kicking out and staying in the slot and getting around the corner pretty quick. So. Yeah, Harry, I have a light, and there's just no place to put it. I was looking for a piece of poster board or something to kind of do that to reflect some light, and I'm not having much luck finding anything. So, yep, keep her in the slot, boys. Hey, B-Rads. What's up? So no, the rule is not to stop for every D slot. I think the rule is to keep the race moving, and you just marshal. It's a 3-hour endurance race. There's plenty of time. So I think that's the goal, is to not have track calls. But they were fighting some issues with controllers during practice. They were, re-chipping or reprogramming their controller for every car. when they were practicing. So they were practicing with multiple cars, and that really created a problem. And so it took, yeah, it will take forever. Yep, it needs to be a running clock. So I think we've settled in now. So Ian, the reason why there was a track call is the fuel was not working in the app, and somehow it got turned off. So we've had a lot of different hands on the computer running the software, and I think that fuel got turned off on accident. And so when they started the race, they realized that fuel was not on, so they had to stop the race. And then they had an issue with a lane changer that was automatically changing the lane every time a different car would go across. And so I think they removed it from the track. So that was the other track, major track call that we had. So just to get everybody, hey Daniel. Go back to the main shot here, so you can see the cars coming down into the hairpin. We have a track call because there was a short on the track. So somebody's lost a screw. And it caused an issue. And we're ready to go back. Here we go. And we're back racing. Hey. Great comment. Yeah, I think that we're fighting some gremlins here, and what track software are they using? Daniel, they're using Smart Race, but Smart Race is struggling right now, which is too bad. Hey, Doug. Thanks for joining. We are we're doing our best. So, but thanks for joining and checking in on me. So yeah, Harry said to put something white in front of my face. How about that? Trying to reflect some light. So you can actually see me. You can't really see me. It's all good. Nobody wants to look at this. But as you can see, the beautiful Ferrari behind me, and then the GT40 prototype in the middle of the track. Good stuff. So that's been my day. It's been a cool day so far. The Gilmore Car Museum is a beautiful place. Lots of amazing cars in the collection. Almost 400 cars. But that Ferrari is pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you have to on the back side, you just release it. Yep, and then solder the two little leads. It's better. It's better.
So we'll try to get some people in here as we get settled into the race. We're only about...
Change drivers? You got 2 minutes and we're changing drivers. Fix the car then.
There you go. So it looks like they're doing... Yeah. So let's look at the hot corner. See how guys are doing over here. They're slow and steady. It's probably going to win the race. Yeah, you don't want to be on the outside of somebody on the inside. They are nerfing you out of that corner. I think the drivers are starting to settle in now. And it's starting to cloud up a little bit, so it might improve some of our lighting issues that we have. But what I could do is I could move that camera. Maybe that's what I do. Yeah, Doug, I was disappointed, but it's all right. Life happens, man. It makes it tough. When they do find the throttle, they can't find the brake at time. White Wolf, yeah. It's just been lots of crashes so far. This is why 4-lane or bigger analog tracks are best for slot car racing. Yeah, Harry, I think that it's just a digital's different race. It's a different type of race, different style of race. And okay, now we got a driver rotation.
Can't get to the car.
So let's take a look at our drivers up there.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm left-handed. Nobody ever does that. It's always right.
So there's the new set of drivers. Marshals are rotating. I thought we were going to do this during live racing. So, yeah. So it looks like things have changed. I would have made that drive and been in the car show. MB, that would have been awesome.
Where do you need a marshal? You in there?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening today, MB. I don't think I'm not that close, am I? 5K. Yeah, Joe was driving the first leg, and their car is red. And here we are. We're back. Leaf has a question. Is this track running at 12 volts? I believe it's running at 14 volts. Maybe a little more atmosphere, Ian. Thanks. All right. Made some adjustments. Ian, let me know how that sounds. So we'll see how that. Hey, Dave. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I think Joe was figuring out that corner by the end of his stint. Now cars are back in. Got guys that are struggling getting through turns. Yes, Dusty, they are running NSR. Looks like they were tires and axles all prepped by Oliver. They were handouts. Next year, Team Ripple. I like it. Question, how are they doing driver changes? Are they running heats? So, Dusty, I thought that they were going to just do driver changes during pit stops on the fly. But they are actually running stints. And so looks like maybe 30-minute stints. There's so much glare on the TV, I can't see it. So let me go check. Hold on. So we're looking at the race order right now is old guys are in first with 100 laps, and then Team Maple Syrup is in second place. Looks like a few laps behind. Just from this angle, I can't see the glare. And I don't have a long enough cable to get a camera on it. So, and it looks like old guys are out of fuel, and that is allowing Maple Syrup. Maple Syrup is gaining some laps on them. Now Team Maple Syrup has moved into first place because of a fuel issue. The guys are struggling. We have a lot of guys. We have a lot of guys that have not run digital, so they're struggling with the pit stops. So this creates a whole new thing. Now Team Maple Syrup is in first place with 104 laps, and old guys are at 102 in the pit getting fuel. So that is going to be the key, is managing your fuel.
Slow down around that corner,
And it looks like they're doing 20-minute stints for the driver changes. So trying to help out with that. What's up, everybody? Hey, Sean, how are you, man? Watch out for those Mississippi boys. And Paul, you enjoying the digital racing? Yep, it's fun. Ernest's question: do they do this race annually? This is the first time they've done this race. I think they hope that it'll be an annual race. That's the plan. Maybe we can get Oliver over here to. Okay, we had a crash right there in front of me. Chaos ensued. Yeah, Greg, I thought the drivers could change whenever they're in the pits, but it looks like they're doing like 20-minute stints. I think it is the best way, actually, Dusty, but they're actually doing a track call and swapping out drivers. So that's what they did this last time. Sorry, there is no way to get a copy on my feed of what's going on the leaderboard, so it's going to be a manual process. Me reporting, but Team Maple Syrup is in the lead, and guys are not getting into the pits. They're forgetting to fill up, and then they're losing laps because any lap that you're out of gas, does not count. So they're struggling with that. So I think the guys that run digital all the time, like Joe and Warren, I think that's the advantage. You need to keep fuel in it. Keep fuel in it to win it. So right now they're at about lap 110. Okay, here we go. We have a red flag. Team Maple Syrup has 117 laps. The old guys are in second for 114. North Huffman Raceway, 111 laps. In third, Rerun Racers are dropped down to fourth place with 110 laps. Decoder, Team Decoder of the Lost Lap, 107. And Blue Water is 48. And 48 laps, it looks like maybe Blue Water is struggling with their chip. And that's why we keep having track calls, because that car is not counting. It's not counting laps. There are 6 teams here participating. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that. Yep, 6 teams. Marty, yeah, I needed the little voice changer on my voice, Dusty. Yeah, there's so much backlight in here. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. From this angle. I'm trying to improve that. Let's see if this improved. There we go. That's a little better. A little better. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here and spending time with the live stream. I know there's so many other things you could be doing today, but tuning into my channel, checking out the race is, I mean, the weather's beautiful. Everybody should probably be outside doing something like we are, outside in this beautiful facility here at the Gilmore Car Museum in Hickory Corners, Michigan. So lots of spectators today because of being a car show day, and I think the car museum is busy on the weekends, would be my guess. So let's go back to some racing action here. So here we go. We are back to some racing. So, here we go. I apologize, I wasn't sure what scene we were on. But we're still at a track call. I think still trying to figure out why Blue Water's car is not counting laps. And they may have been off trying to repair that chip. So let's take a look and see what's going on at this point. Yeah, they're struggling with some of this corner. Okay. Ooh, I heard parts. George, it's very interesting. If you can't drive digital or analog, makes no difference. I think some of the guys are struggling with the brake control for digital. And when you're in the same lane, you rear end somebody, the faster car, it's your responsibility to make the pass, right? So the slower car, you just maintain. The faster car, their responsibility is to change lanes and go around you. If they go through you, they will assess penalties for that. So the guy in the corner is ready for retirement after 3 hours. Yes, he is. That corner is getting its fill, for sure. That is for sure. Show me slots. Heat. Yes, Joe and Warren are in the red C8 Corvette, and right now they are leading this race. So let me walk over. So the rundown is Team Maple Syrup, 127 laps. Old Guys, 123 laps. North Huffman Race, 122. Rerun Racers, 121. That's a tight race for third and fourth. Team Decoder, 117. And Blue Water looks like they are counting laps again, and they are at 50 laps. Yeah, there are some people doing the ride the wall. Let me give you the shot here, so you guys can watch a little bit of that action, which is cool. There's a lot of action in this corner, lots of D slots, lots of people struggling, for sure, with that. Have we got a Marty cam? I want to see Marty. There we go, Doug. I fixed it. So hopefully this is a little better. There's so much backlight here, and without an actual light, I do have a light in the car, but there was no really place to put it. If I switched the angle and moved it here, I've got a little less backlight. That's improving the shot. So I'm trying to help out. Chief Redback, that would be an amazing reward, but unfortunately, no. Yeah, there shouldn't be any chat calls. A digital race, it just should run. But I think they've made some concessions just trying to troubleshoot some of the issues that they were having with the track. Jan, a 4-lane track would just give you more space. 6 teams on a 2-lane is very busy, for sure. But a 4-lane, when we run digital on my 4-lane, I feel like sometimes it's a little too much. People end up finding the fastest way around, and that's how they get around, and some lanes just don't get as much traffic. Yes, the clock is still ticking when they fall off. Discipline is huge on a digital track with a bunch of cars. It is. It's tough, I think. Hey, Paul, thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. We're just trying to have some fun, trying to do something new and different here at the Gilmore Car Museum. And they asked if there was a space for them when they talked, and Phil's like, "Oh, we have more than a space. We have a whole new building, and this building is brand new, beautifully done. Garage doors all around, so they can open it up like a big open pavilion, and then they can use it in the winter." It's really, really nice, as you can see. So just a beautiful venue. Hey, Nico, thanks for tuning in. They actually are winning. Unfortunately, Massimo was not able to make it, but Nico, you'll be proud of them. They are leading this race right now. Hey, Harry, looks like a lot of overdriving. So with digital, you're relying on the Carrera CU. You're relying on the CU for braking, and the braking is a little difficult, I think. I think guys are really struggling with the braking. Grady, the whole thing looks like a great time. I think everybody's having a good time. There's a lot of learning going on today, and that's the beauty of it. I'm hoping to be able to pull some guys over and do some interviewing, but we'll see. I think everybody's so busy with the race that it might be tough. I was hoping to get somebody from the Gilmore to actually talk about the venue. Maybe we can get Phil over here. Harry, I think, let me go check and see what they're running. Let me go see what voltage they're running. Hold on. They are running at 14.4. No, I don't think so. I think he had to work. But they did pick up somebody. I think that it was your choice, angle winder or sidewinder. You have lots of overdriving. Use your brakes, guys. Use your brakes. See, now teams are starting to figure it out that they're helping their driver. When you're focused on the track you really aren't paying attention to what's going on with the fuel, and lots of guys are missing on the fuel. Four minutes until the driver change. Random. Why did he try to import mozzarella? Go Team Maple Syrup. That's right. I need a third for next year. There you go. It looks like they're doing like 20-minute stints. Pete. So Doug, I am not professional like Doug and Ian. They would have lots of things to talk about. I didn't even have a driver's list. So I was going around trying to create my own. I didn't do a very good job. Everybody was so focused. Can you adjust the fuel tank size on the software? Yes, you can. And what they've got to do is make sure that all of them are the same. So controller 5 and 6. Controller 5 and 6, you can't in Smart Race. You cannot change the fuel size, so you have to match all the other ones to that. So controller 5 and 6, and it's something that it's a problem with Carrera. Hey Ian, thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. Maybe Joe needs to put some syrup on his tires for his next stint. I'll give him that. He's actually marshaling right here in this turn, this left-hander at the top of the screen. So let's get back to the main shot here. Sorry, that's not smooth. I'm trying to multitask with one camera to cover as much as I possibly can. See, we got some other questions, Dusty. Maybe they should have run light kits. At least they could have noticed the fuel issue. Yeah, I think there's only one car. I think Jim Cunningham's car is running light kits. That's why I'm thinking maybe we should have gone with Carrera cars. But thank you to NSR for the sponsorship of the race, and thank you to Professor Motors and Oliver. You know, they put a lot of work into the hobby, and it's great to see a lot of people come out for this. And they appreciate you guys tuning into the live stream. But yes, light kits would have really helped. It sounds like the race is in Italy. Is there too much background noise? Because I can control that. Yeah, my vote is no stints. Let's stop stopping the race. Let's keep it moving, and that's what pit stops are for. If you need to work on your car, pull your car off at the pits, work on the car, put it back on. You need to change drivers. All right, Warren? You're in next? Warren is up next. Are you getting ready to jump in now, Warren? Okay. You got this, Warren. Everybody's rooting for you, man.
Hey guys, where is everybody?
Yep, right here's the camera.
There you are. Hello.
So, well done. So Warren is getting ready to take over. It's 102 degrees in Memphis. Woo, it's warm. I tell you what, it's warm here, but we have got a stiff breeze, which is probably saving the day for us. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful car, and that is like the backdrop for the whole race. It's incredible. Hey, Todd. What's up, brother? Metal. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Track reminds me of a highway that circles in an island. Yeah, we're racing around Oahu right now. I think the guys are enjoying the layout though. That big long straight, and they just can't seem to slow down for the turn. Hit the brakes. Thanks for tuning in, George. Appreciate it. Joe is marshaling like a pro. Yeah, look at him over there. He's working. He's working hard. Joe is in the pink shirt, Nico. Yep. Our rarest Carrera. So he should rotate off, and I'll get him to come over and join us. So that'll be good. I went down and checked Home Racing World yesterday. Awesome. Nice. White Wolf, that's cool. I would like to make that trip. Would love to visit Harry and check all that out. Great track, a lot of fun, great food, from what I hear. A little jealous. Okay, now we got a driver change. And let me give you a rundown. Give you a rundown. All right, Team Maple Syrup with 167 laps. North Hoffman Raceway 164 have surpassed the old guys. Old guys have dropped down to third, 161 laps. Rerun Racers 159, Decoder 144, and Blue Water is still struggling with 50 laps. So they are actually doing a chip replacement, it looks like. No, tires. And we'll see what goes down there. Yeah, Warren is now taking over. That was the guy they picked up. I don't know his name, so I'll try to work on that. Yeah, HSF. We have some people who are struggling with braking, and it's the digital braking that from the Carrera CU. And what this is going to sound weird, but I'm trying to decide while I'm commentating what is going on. But if there are 2 or 3 cars on this straight stretch together, like within a couple of track pieces together, going into that hairpin, one of those cars has 0 brakes going into that corner. So, yeah, they're just a goner. Yeah, Big Oak Warren is just getting ready to. He will be driving next. Yes, each team has 3 drivers. Yeah, Doug, maybe some connection issues. Something is going on with the brakes going into that corner. And again, if you're by yourself, it looks like the car's braking just fine. But if you are in that coming into that corner with multiple cars, so I think we're learning lots of lessons today. I'm taking lots of notes. I imagine Oliver is as well. So, yeah. Hey, it's a learning experience. It's the first time they've done this race. I think that eventually they'll get the kinks worked out. It's kind of one of those things you don't know until you get to experience it. So, Doug, yeah, that corner. That corner, I'm going to show you that corner right here. So this corner, when they're smashing into that wall, it's separating the track because it's hitting with so much force.
Is the track together there? Someone was saying the track.
Yeah,
Yeah, they put it back together.
All right.
So, yeah. So we're dealing with some things. Yes, usually you do. I don't know where all the jumpers are. Looks like we've got some right here at this turn at the bottom right that we're seeing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Carrera Digital likes the 14.4 or 14.5 so that the lane changers work properly. Yeah. Hey, Greg. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Yep, they did. They fixed it, looks like. Hopefully. Hey, Ron has a question. Did Joe manage to install his maple syrup bubble level weight advantage device? I don't think it passed tech, Ron. Thanks, Jan. Nice and clear. The race on the other is really messy. Yeah, brake is at 100% for most of the teams, I think. I think you just have to slow down. Ian, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm behind on the chat, but thanks for answering my question. It just took me a minute to get to it. Is that a man purse? Man, you're gonna have to, Pete, you're gonna have to bring that up with him. I think it's a belly pack over the shoulder. But he's looking cool over there. Look at him at the pits. Marshall. It's a man bag. It's a Merce. B-Rads. I used to have a man bag. Others had a different name for it. Oh, Harry mentioned that George, they have a visitor. Maybe need more power taps, possibly. This is a big track. Ian, it appears that no, not very well. Oh, this corner is too much fun, guys. I'm going to change the view for a minute. Hey, look at that. 3 cars through. And then chaos ensued in the next turn. Fantastic. The car's not brake. I'm sure. Yeah, Big Oak. I mean, it's first time. They'll figure it out. We'll get there. I'm having fun. Just talking about it. Right? Good times. Oh, they'd be in trouble if you took that wall away. Be in big trouble. Hey, thanks for checking in, man. We appreciate it. That's great, George. Yeah, I think Warren's settled in. Doing a pretty good job. Picking up the track layout pretty good. There we go. Warren, nice pass. Yeah, guys, I think the team's looking pretty good. Six cars, Raul. 6 cars at a time. So all 6 teams are racing. So MB, I think that's what everybody's wanting to do, and I don't think the Carrera CU is handling it very well for some reason. So I think that's what we're running into is guys are adjusting the brakes, but they're not really seeing any response. So whether that's a software issue or the CU issue, it's kind of hidden. Looks like we got a different car. Looks like maybe changed cars. So they get one that would count laps. They've got kind of a tough road to hoe. Tough road to hoe. That's what I meant to say. Team Maple Syrup hauling some butt. Do it. All right, give you guys an update. Here we go. Maple Syrup 194, North Huffman Raceway 190. Rerun Racers 187, 183, and 184 for old guys. Decoder 171 and 67. Blue Water. So Blue Water is getting some laps now. They've figured out what their issues were with the lap counting. I think they swapped out cars. That's an orange car now that they're in instead of the black car, which is probably a smart move. So obviously they were having decoder issues. Oh, hello. Not sure what happened there. Yes, HSF. They are using Frankenslot controllers. Roll, yes. If they didn't run the track at full power, they were struggling getting the lane changers to work properly. So they were running at 14.5 so that they knew all of that. Yes, George, they are running wireless. They're running the Frankenslot wireless controllers, which I think could be part of the issue. Okay, we're at a track call. It looks kind of slow. I think it looks kind of slow because guys are slowing down so that they can make the turns. Since there's some craziness going on with the braking. They don't really have good control of the braking. Lose. So we're at a track call. We will get ready to go back live. Racing. And here we go. And we're back to racing. See, I wish I could mirror. We're already like distributing that to like two different screens. So there was no way that they could send it to me. Yes, Nico, it is a combination of Carrera with all the digital pieces and a lot of Scale Auto track. Grady asks, is the braking set... The braking is set in Smart Race. So that's what they made the decision of. They made the decision to stop and switch race drivers because each driver might want to set their car up differently, and because they can't, we had to take down the network. Because they had to take down the network, nobody could use the app. And because they can't use the app, they can't adjust on the fly during the race. They have to do it through the computer. And so that's their struggle. So that's why they're stopping during the race to change drivers so they can make any adjustments that way. So it is going to extend the race quite some time, but it is what it is. Again, it's one of those things I think you learn. Yeah, Dusty, and that was the problem, is because you connect to that Wi-Fi, and all of those devices have to be on the same network to work. And the device that they used is 2.4 gigahertz, and it was wreaking havoc on the wireless controllers. So moving forward, my opinion, I think one of the notes that we should take is just have 6. I know everybody loves the wireless controller, but just have 6 wired controller stations. Eliminate the wireless out of it, so then you can have the wireless to be able to manage the race a little better, and have an iPad at each of the stations or the phone at each of the stations, so they can have the Connect app up and running, and then they can do all of that right there in the app. And easily control the braking, control the acceleration, the speed, and we could just run the 3 hours and no track calls unless something drastic was happening. But those are talking points for the next time. And so, yeah, really good stuff. But guys, thanks for tuning in. We are live here at the Gilmore Car Museum. It is a beautiful campus in Hickory Corners, Michigan. And this is the Professor Motor sponsored event, Carrera track, and NSR cars. So thank you for the sponsors of the event. We really appreciate the fact that they're putting an event like this on. And thank you to the Gilmore Car Museum. There's a ton of people. I mean, guys, this race right now is getting a couple thousand eyes, sets of eyes on the hobby. People are coming in and out, hanging out, watching the race. So we have a ton of spectators around. They all know that they're in the camera shot on the other side, so they're all kind of behind and kind of all around the room. And they're just kind of moving in and out, checking everything out, which I think is fantastic. It's just really cool that they're hosting this race, and I think it's going to become an annual event for them. So. I don't think it's a gear issue. I think the microphone's picking up. That maybe the chassis is dragging the track. That's what I'm hearing, Dustin. Turn the radio up. That's right. That doesn't sound like my transmission. It just turn the radio up. I really want to know what the heck Joe has in the Merce. Like he needed a moment's notice at Slot Car Race. He's pitting right now, and as soon as I can get his attention, I'll see if I can get him over here on camera, and we can ask that question, Pete. DJ Patrick, the gray track is the Scale Auto track, and they're using the Scale Auto to Carrera adapters. So a lot of the straights, we know, thanks to the NSR race, the Eastern Nationals, that Oliver at Professor Motor has a bunch of scale auto track. So yeah, so he's combining it both, and it looks great. And looks like it's holding up pretty good. And I think guys are, now that we've settled in a little bit, I think the guys are starting to really enjoy having some fun. So thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate that you would take time to check it out. Let me walk over and give us an update. Yes, that is Joe in the pink t-shirt. So it looks like he just did a tire cleaning. So maybe I can get him. He's going in next, so maybe we can grab Warren then. I was all planned. I got a little station here set up so we can do interviews. I could be like my heroes, Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing. Those guys are the best in the business at great scenery and commentating on live streams. I have to give you guys some props because filling 24 hours worth of commentary, that had to be impossible. Impossible. And you guys, like, nobody here wants to jump in front of the camera. So I don't have Andrea here. I don't have Oliver is managing the race, so that's why he hasn't jumped on. I wanted to interview him, but I think we've had so many issues that everybody's kind of stressed. So we're gonna let them ride it out. They'll be good. I can't get my camera to my phone camera to jump back on. Let me give you a lineup. What's going on so you guys know. Maple Syrup, 252 laps, still in first place, building their lead. Well done, Warren. The rerun racers have come out of the bottom. They moved from fourth place up to second place with 247 laps. They just passed North Huffman Raceway with 246 laps. Old Guys 242, Decoders 223, and here we go, Blue Water building their way back up into the race, 104 laps. So, yeah, good stuff. Sorry about that, guys. It's kind of how I'm going to have to do it. Couldn't come up with a great solution to get the screens, because even at that distance, standing right in front of the screen, it's really kind of hard. There's so much glare and light in there. Again, something to think about. MB asked, why not just run Carrera? I think you got to take care of your sponsors. Drink of water. Apologize. Yeah, NSR is a sponsor of the event, so I think that's part of it. They wanted to sponsor the event. So if they're sponsoring the event, you run their cars. And outside of that, those cars are performing really well. I think the guys were able to tune them, and like, look at that. Warren, just nice job through the hairpin. He's really got it locked in. He's got his brakes figured out. I think that's the key. You have some people I think probably half of the field, these guys have never raced digital. There's a bunch of guys that have never raced on plastic or don't race on plastic. So it's a new experience. So there we go. That was some good driving. Let me change the angle so you guys can watch that corner again. Okay. So you can watch how guys are starting to maneuver through that turn. I think the inside lane is not where you want to be going into this. I think going through the outside, Warren is clicking off some really good laps for Team Maple Syrup. Oh. Lots of rear end collisions. That's why my first NSR 908 is all broken apart. So let's give a shout out to Verizon. They've got great 5G service here, and now we're switching drivers. But they've so looks like we're bringing in a spare car. Car's having problems. Yeah. So I got to recode. So driver changes. Warren had a great stint. Looks like Joe. Nice stint. So a little pause in the action. So while there's a pause in the action, I'm going to take just a few minute break, and we'll be back live from the Gilmore Car Museum. I'll give you a rundown. 272 laps for Team Maple Syrup in first place. Running in second place at 266 laps is Rerun Racers. 263 is North Huffman Raceway. Fourth place, Old Guys, 258. Number fifth place, Decoder of the Lost Lap is 238 laps, and Blue Water at 115 of Ken. They have had lots of car issues and really have struggled. Looks like we're about ready to get racing again.
Kevin, do you have the feel, or are you okay?
And we are 1 hour in to the 3-hour endurance race. So we are back to racing. Back to racing. And there. Get on the brakes. Yeah, Raul, if you're still on, you would enjoy this because this is a Mopar sponsored car show today, and there are lots of and lots of Mopar. I'll send you some video. I took some for you. Houston, we have a floater. As you can tell, it's a little windy here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We are live at the Gilmore Car Museum for the Carrera Digital Race, sponsored by NSR and Professor Motor, here in Hickory Corners, Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful place. What a venue to host a slot car race. The building that they put us in is just gorgeous, and they have a full day of lots of people here on the grounds, lots of cars for a car show. Even got camping over here. All of the buildings are open, so you can see all the collection of almost 400 cars in the Gilmore collection. So I took some quick footage earlier that I will probably put into a video and post on the channel if that's something that you guys are interested in. But it's definitely worth the drive. Kalamazoo is a wonderful town, and just a really cool space. And that's something you might be interested in, and you are close. It ended up being almost a 6-hour drive because of some construction that I ran into from Southern Ohio. A lot of cars. Looks like they're starting to leave the venue, so we get some great sounding background noise. Good stuff. But yeah. Oh.
Is it dead?
We have a track call. We have a car that died on us, or the track died on us. Looks like we're troubleshooting the track again. That's been one of the issues. And I have to give Oliver credit. He's a very even keel guy. Doesn't get overly excited about things. Very calm head. He really is a great race director, because he keeps his cool and just everything comes at it very, very even. And I appreciate that about him. But really a great guy. And talk a little bit about Professor Motor. I would love for him to jump on, but he's so busy directing that I don't think it's going to happen. But they are around 2 hours from here, I think, is what Warren was telling me at the shop. And I would love to have gotten over to had a chance to maybe see their place. But we've been talking about this. He came on my live stream a couple months ago and just had an amazing conversation with him. He was just so, just has such a great heart for the hobby, really wants to do things that help promote it, and this is one of the events. And so today there are hundreds and hundreds, a couple thousand people in and out, checking out this track. And I was in the other building, and I heard somebody say, "Hey, you need to go over to whatever the name of this building is, the new building, because it's actually really cool because they've got a big slot car track and they're doing racing over there." And this other guy got excited, like, "Slot car racing? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in years." This is great for the hobby. A lot of people in this area are going to know that slot cars are alive and well. And a bunch of car people who collect cars, have beautiful cars, here for the car show, are checking it out. Got a track over here that they can jump on and have some fun and try it. There's a track in the museum that they can jump on and have some fun. And there were some kids in there. I got some video of kids playing on the track. It's just going to be big. It will pay dividends in this area. So now, how do we create events like this, not just here in Michigan, but how do we do this in Ohio? How do we do this in California, which is already got a great slot car scene? But there are other places that have like hidden slot car scenes that need to be open. And I think that our friend Seb down in Cincinnati has a great digital track and hosted a great digital race. And my guess is he kind of worked out all those kinks before he hosted the race. And I know that they tried, but they're just things that you don't think about, especially using wireless. So I think that's part of it, is like, I think they need to get away from that and go back to wired controllers. And I think that would be a big help. So all in all, though, this has been fantastic. I think that it's super positive. Even though they have had some issues with cars, they've had some issues with the track, getting ready to go back live. It's all learning experience, right? So great promotion for the hobby. But how do we do this? How do we do this in Wisconsin? How do we do this in Florida? How do we do this in Georgia? How do we do this in Texas? How do we do this in other places throughout the United States that have good core slot car fan base, like hobbyists? They have a lot of guys who race. They have some private clubs in houses. How do we do this in a public place where lots of people, hopefully kids, have an opportunity to see this and go, "I want to do that"? And maybe they end up buying a Carrera track, or they buy a Skelectric track, or they buy Polycar track, put it up in their basement and start racing. Or they have a local track they can go to. I think these are all important things for the hobby. Events like this. Thank you to the Gilmore Car Museum for hosting. It's a wonderful event. And for those of you tuning into the live stream, because that's the other avenue of how we can't go someplace and do this. How do other people see it? So YouTube is a great tool for that. Does it hit everyone? No. Is it a very tight niche? Yes. But it's something, right? MB Auto Detail says, "Yep, great event. Got my mind working on a Wisconsin event." MB, that's awesome. I think that's a great plan. I think that's what makes this very exciting. Ian says, "Professional computer gamers used wired mouses and keyboards to reduce lag." I think that's one of the things that we'd have to look at, Ian, is how do we prevent some of the easy, those are easy things to fix, right? The convenience of wireless, it's super convenient. It's very handy. These guys, they're not tethered to anything, but because they're not, I think that's causing some of the problems. Jen says, "Very cool exposure for the hobby. Joe was so excited this morning on the phone, more excited than our wedding day, I think." I don't know about that. He was pretty excited about your wedding day. I'm positive of that. So next year, Jen, you'll have to be here. You'll have to race. But for all of you who tuned in, Nico, man, slot cars are back. Yeah, slot cars, they didn't go anywhere, right? But we just have a way of exposing them now with YouTube, and I just think that it's getting exposure. They never completely died, right? But you had to know how to find them. Now we have ways to help people find them, and that's what's exciting about this. So, I mean, even Marco has talked about, okay, where we go from now. You know, slot cars are back, but where do we go from here? Oh yeah, we got the Plymouth going by, drag car. Do you see that in the video? Nice. But yeah, slot cars are back, but they didn't really leave. They just we just struggled to get exposure. They struggled to help people find them. You know, clubs were losing clubs, and that's tough. So we had to get creative, and YouTube has allowed us to get creative. Instagram has allowed us to get creative. Facebook, we have large slot car Facebook groups, bigger than YouTube channels, right? So I think that's it. Question, are there penalties for driving into a car from behind in this race? And if so, how's that managed? I think Oliver is managing Smart Race. Nice. He is managing Smart Race, and I think he's assessing penalties for over excessive driving, but I think because of the brake issue that they're dealing with the wireless controllers, I believe that that's what's causing this. He's been pretty lenient, but we have some people that are really been, I don't know that they mean to be aggressive, it's just there's been a lot of collisions. So I'll tell you what, let me flip over to the corner just to give you guys another perspective of the race. And yeah, let's see, audio. Sean says, I'm going to talk to Andy on the Decoders team about doing a race at the Edge Motor Museum in Memphis. Sean, fantastic. Yeah, those guys came up to me that are running with Decoders and introduced themselves and said that he said to say hi. So I thought that was pretty cool. Ian thought one of the cars was dragging, then realized it was the Plymouth. Yeah, somebody's got gear problems, Ian. Was it? Oh, no. It was the drag car going by. I was hoping he'd do a big burnout. Yeah, Joe is driving now for that. Okay, let me swing over there and give you guys an update. Hold on just a second. All right, Team Maple Syrup is at 318 laps. Rerun Racers are in second place at 313. The old guys moved up to third place at 310. North Huffman Raceway is 306. Decoder 277 and Blue Waters 146. So there's your top 6 of the 6 teams. And yeah, I wish I could get that on the screen for you guys. I apologize. As the sun and the clouds move in, I was hoping some of that glare would come off of the main screen so that we could do that, but it's not working. Let's see, what else do we have in the comments? No, Pete, looked fast, tripped down to the straight, yeah. Hey, DeFingers, thanks. Watch the replay later. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy that. Hey, Greg, I agree. That would be awesome. Hey, Tad, wow, that track, that long straight. Yeah, that straight is probably 16, 32, about 40 feet long, something like that. Almost 40 feet long. It's a big, long straight. Team Peak shirt. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see here. Jan says there are digital Carrera systems where you can drive any controller now. A few French guys from Slotted make affordable systems. Yeah, I think one of the things that they'll look at is the oxygen system. I think that's a possibility down the road. I think that if this becomes a serious event, this was billed as a fun event, so they could work out the kinks. So in the drivers' meeting, Oliver explained that as like, hey, let's just have some fun. We're learning here. We're wanting to improve. We're wanting to learn how to run a digital race so that we can do a pretty serious digital endurance race. You know, maybe there's a 24-hour digital race here in the States like there is over in Europe, right? So I think that's what we're trying to do. But you have to start someplace, right? And so you work out all the kinks with guys that are just having fun and not getting too upset and taking it too serious. I think that's where you start. So good stuff. Tad, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Joe is doing great. He's in the flow now. Yeah, I think so too. He's really being smooth. His thing he was talking about was, I just want to stay in the slot. And I told him earlier on, I'm like, that is the key. You just want to stay in the slot. So I'll take you back to the main view here. Yeah. So give you the view of the long straight. Warren, you got time to jump on here? Okay. So we'll try to get Warren to jump in and chat with us a little bit, talk about his experience, and since he's got some track time, maybe we'll be able to see what he thinks of the layout and some of that stuff. I saw Greg in the chat. Greg, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, bro. Greg sent me a message this morning just encouraging me, and Greg's a great friend, man. I just appreciate him. But he sent me a picture of a box that had my name on it. Said he's sending me something, and it's pretty cool. I told him he didn't need to send me anything, but yeah, Warren. So let's let me jump on something here real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's go back out to this. Okay, Warren, grab that microphone and swing it around. There you go. Yeah, you can spin it around that way. There you go. And then what we'll try to do is, hello. So there we go. We got Warren. Warren from Light Tech. So Warren might want to get into that mic a little bit because it's so windy. I had to cut it down. Oh, hang on. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh. Warren will be back. He'll be right back. That's all right. No, Joe, it's all right, man. It's okay. Hey, racing is the important part. This is just the fluff. This is just the icing. Joe is eating an apple. There's your camera right there. Oh. Joe is eating an apple while driving. I mean, that takes talent, bro. That is talent, if I've ever seen it. So we got some car issues here, it looks like. I already covered that one. Ted's been outside working on the fence. I've got some work I need to do outside. My wife would probably rather I be there than here, but that's okay. The 24 hours of La Gilmore. Yeah, that would work. This would be a great venue for it because you've got really everything you need. There's plenty of room for pit space. But cleaning the track they haven't cleaned the track, and with the doors open, there's really no reason to clean the track because you would just be cleaning it constantly. And so we just kind of dealt with it. So there's your camera. So Warren, talk a little bit about your car. How's it performing on the track? What do you think of this venue?
Those are probably all questions I would rather answer at the end, right? It's like you don't want to jinx anything.
Sure. No, I don't.
It's running really good right now.
Yeah. Okay. You guys were putting in some really solid laps there. This last couple stints, you guys really are starting to build a lead. You're sitting in first. I know you don't want to jinx it, but so talk a little bit about this venue. How cool is this place? This is amazing, isn't it?
Beautiful. It's amazing. I would like to come here some other time and just go through all the little
and take the time to see the cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's it's almost 400 cars in the collection here.
Yeah.
And they've got multiple buildings at campus. There's one, and then they house quite a few other collections that are not just Gilmore collections, but the Classic Car Club of America and a bunch of them. So it's pretty amazing.
And they have a Carrera track here.
Yeah, they do have they have a small Carrera track. They have a small Carrera track in the museum up front. Yep. I got some video of that, some kids playing on it, which was great.
Did you go check it out?
Yeah.
You did? I didn't. I haven't even been over there
Yeah.
yet.
Well, we've been kind of busy with the race, right? So what are your thoughts so far? Like what have you found difficult about this layout?
This corner right here.
Yeah, the hairpin.
As Joe wipes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that bumper's hanging right off now. Oh my gosh. Oh, the bumper's hanging right off the car.
Hanging on for dear life.
Oh, do we have to finish with a bumper?
No, I don't think so. I think you start with one, but I think you finish with whatever.
The splitters.
Yeah.
The guys will be driving into.
Which is what we talked about last night. The splitter.
Yes,
you were worried
that's
about the rear
weird
split.
spot.
Yeah.
And so the car took some hits to the back, and now it's hanging off the back of the car. So, but it's the perils of racing. Oh yeah, it's hanging off. A little flag.
It looks like you got a trailer hitch.
Yeah.
Hook the trailer up to it.
He's doing a great job. He just drove around a bunch of guys there.
Yeah, I know. He's doing a great job passing. You know, it is what we were talking about. It's the.
And he's using his weird Joe thumb mechanic there.
Oh yeah.
You see how he drives?
Yep. With the controller upside down.
Yeah, upside down, backwards.
So he's using it like a plunger.
Yeah.
So thoughts about the layout?
The track layout here?
Yeah.
It's I love it. It's fantastic. The scale auto track's really nice and tacky. We've got a great straight down here. I don't know what the total length is. I would guess like 180.
Probably. It's
180
yeah.
around there.
170, 180 would be my guess.
Yeah, and then you got a hairpin down here, little straights, and then you kind of nice. It's nice flowing track.
Yeah, I think you got some nice long places to pass.
Yeah,
right.
There's a lot of places to pass. There's crossing tracks literally in each section, and in front of the pit too. So you don't have to worry about any of those.
Yeah, my thoughts were like, this is definitely set up to be a digital race, right?
Yeah.
Like this is not a typical analog setup. If you're just,
I think I lost it completely.
All right, you'll be faster now, so it'll be good.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, it was not. It was dragging. It was holding us back.
Holding you back. It was killing your aerodynamics.
Yeah.
But I think that what you gain here, I mean, it's just a different style of racing, digital versus analog.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the cool things that's happening is we get to experience some of that. We've done there's been a lot of live streams out there of races that are all analog races, right?
Absolutely.
And 24-hour races and sprints, but the digital race is a completely different animal.
No, it definitely is. There's more strategy to it. We've been calling out. We figured out what our pit window is, and so I don't know if you heard we were calling it out. And so we're trying to maintain that. And our going in, we were saying, okay, we're just going to race and be consistent and stay in the slot and put mileage. Just keep putting mileage. And
stay in the slot, slow and steady.
Like we discussed yesterday.
Yeah. Last night we had a chance to grab dinner.
Yes.
It was fantastic. But we did talk about like kind of the strategy of the race, about how staying in the slot's going to be important, not missing your pit windows are important, right?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
You cannot afford to run out of gas because you lose laps fast, right?
You lose laps, and your car slows down.
Yeah, your car slows down.
The one guy, can you move the car just ahead, please? He was stopped in the dead zone. Yeah, you'll lose laps, and like the guys were slowing right down, and they were having a hard time with it. And some of the guys, I think it's a little new to them.
Yeah.
So they were having a hard time.
Yeah, I know. Well, you guys were sitting in like third place, and the two teams were struggling with pits, and all of a sudden you flipped, and you were in. I looked up and you were in first, and I was like, I knew what happened. Like too many teams were running out of gas and they were losing laps, and you guys were doing a nice job.
Get him, Armando.
We lost the bumper.
Huh?
We lost it.
I
We
saw
lost the
that.
bumper,
I
yeah.
saw.
I don't know where it went.
Are we supposed to be looking for it?
I don't know where it went.
No,
We're good now. but
we noticed that. We were like, it's gone now.
Yep.
We were like,
It's minor.
yeah. It's going to be reduced price now. It's secondhand.
Oh yeah,
It's now secondhand.
that's good. That's great.
Yeah. That's basically been working, so we're just going to continue with that strategy.
Yeah, at
and
this point, it's just managing the race. That's right. Help your teammate.
stay
They don't miss.
hydrated. We're trying to stay
Yeah.
hydrated and take our breaks. When we take our breaks, go,
Yep.
get everything done and then come back. And
But I think the big advantage, and I think everybody has kind of figured that out, is having a teammate watching the board. Because if you're trying to drive, it's hard to look up and see where you're at.
And there's a glare on the screen
Yeah.
from the driver's podium.
Yeah.
So you can't really see the.
So somebody's saying,
numbers.
hey, you need to go into the pit now.
Yeah.
Next lap, go into pit. That's how you keep people from forgetting, and it saves
Absolutely.
laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saves laps.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. What?
How's this GT40?
Oh, the prototype is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about that for the centerpiece of a track?
That's just amazing.
Yeah, and we got some great cars. Like we got the Ferrari behind us here, and it's
I know.
gorgeous. I did a run through with my camera real quick just to get some video of some of the cars in the museum. There's spectacular collection.
It's
It's
stunning.
amazing.
Stunning.
What? So talk a little bit about Litech and like what you got going on there, and some of the things you're doing from
Just-
a hobby standpoint.
I'm basically just growing it and continuing on, having a space for everyone to race and come in, building relationships. It's bringing people into the hobby. I like a lot of times it's just a lot of time on the phone, helping people figure out what choices they want to make. Someone they're like, I used to do scale electric. Do I go to
Right.
Now they want to go digital. Do they go scale electric digital? Do they go Carrera digital?
Right, and having somebody to talk with about that and answer
Come
questions.
in and see the track and try it out, try the controllers, and I got a weird philosophy. Even though I'm in business, it's like come in, try it, and then I'll tell them, oh, that's a true speed. Go, go get it. You can get it online.
Yeah.
I stock what I stock, and I have that in stock. Tariffs have been a little bit of a glitch in the system.
little bit of a challenge lately, but
It has, absolutely, and then getting inventory too. And then, but luckily, that's all changing, and we're gonna get some inventory. But for me, it's it's a passion, and it's actually it's what I've got on there. It's stock car, it's our passion.
yeah.
It's that's my business model. It's
sure.
such. So.
Now, is this your full-time thing or is side hustle for you?
I'm gonna have to. It's a side, but because it consumes so much of my time and the store, and then trying to grow. I'm trying to grow leagues. I'm trying to get people to come out and get that all out. I've got. There's still a lot of things that I'm working on. I've got to get signage.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, like as far as at the location. But I've got to get. I want to get more people coming into the fold, and then just have a hangout. Come race, like you do with your guys, and then just carry on.
Build from there. Yeah.
Build from there.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier in the chat about how just great exposure for the hobby today.
Yeah.
Just wonderful venue. Like, thanks to the Gilmore for letting us come and do this here. Oliver and all the work that his people have done putting this together.
Philip.
And Philip and John Erdman and so many people helping.
Yeah.
And
Great guys.
Yeah, just fantastic people.
Yeah.
And then all of the spectators we had earlier. Now the car show's starting to wind down a little bit, and some of them have moved out. But when we first started the race, there was a lot of people watching the race, standing around, and like that's exciting. That's a lot of exposure. People are like, I didn't know we still did this, right? I didn't know slot cars were still a thing. Heard some guys talking in the museum, like, hey, you need to go check out the slot car track. They're racing slot cars out there in the building, and so like,
now
how do we do that in other places, right?
Right. Just keep keep that momentum.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a massive car culture in Michigan. Same in where I'm from, Windsor, because we're an automotive city.
Right.
So there's just guys love cars, and this is it's a fantastic hobby.
Oh, it is fantastic. Yeah.
I'm a collector. I'm a eclectic collector.
Yeah.
I love, so I've got, I like all the different classes. It doesn't matter. I like Le Mans class, GT3s, the rally cars, Formula One. There isn't a slot car I don't like.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like how do you pick your favorite one? You just can't.
You can't.
It's like,
I mean, when you think about with a slot car, you get to drive whatever car you've ever dreamed of driving.
right.
I know it's not
Without,
really.
without putting down $250,000.
Yeah, without dropping a bunch of money. Right. And you get to like have a couple. You have one in red and one in yellow, or your favorite race liveries. I think that the hobby just
Or you drive
from
there.
we have people who are like, I have every Mark Donahue.
Nice.
I don't. I'm just saying,
yeah.
but I know people that are like, if a Mark Donahue, no matter what car it is, if he drove it, people that's in their collection, right? And then you have people who
Like Chris got a massive collection. Like he's constantly posting and like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, look at he's got that.
Yeah. And then Dave Slaughter just found his like dream, that Warsteiner, he finally got the green Porsche, right? That he's been looking for, that when you do find it, it's like outrageously priced. Like, and he doesn't call himself a collector, but like the dude's collecting, right? I'm not a collector. And I look and I'm like, I'm up to like 100 slot cars now. And it's like 3 years. How did I get to this point? But,
right. For me, my holy grails were the fly cars, the Le Mans ones.
Oh, yeah.
And then I finally
the classic flies
I've
are
got
great.
them all. And now it's like, what do I do? Where do
Yeah.
But
So now you got all of the ones you wanted. Now what's your next?
Yeah.
Well, and just like the NASCAR,
I'm waiting for the scale autos, all the
the Fly Scale Auto collaboration.
Yes.
Those are going to be great cars.
yeah.
Really excited about those coming out. And I don't know when. Maybe we'll see those before the end of the year. I don't know. I haven't.
Hopefully. Now
haven't
with
heard.
With the tariff thing now.
But
Basically
man,
being sorted out, hopefully.
hopefully, it needs to be. Like we gotta fix it. And like politics aside, I understand the intent of trying to correct some wrongs, but like there's a good way to go about it.
Right.
About fixing it.
Right.
It was
Could be
pretty
more
extreme.
Diplomatic.
Yeah, let's be diplomatic.
My 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. But so have you raced analog before? Like
Just when I was younger, when I was a kid, and then just here.
so mostly you do digital racing though.
Mostly I do digital.
Okay.
Yeah. Scale Auto, I've raced there a couple of times.
Yeah, are you thinking about the NSR Nationals this time? Because you were there last year, but you were there as like a vendor, not really as a racer.
No, I wasn't as a vendor. I went to race, but I was too nervous that I wasn't at that level, and I didn't want to be an impediment to everybody. I didn't want to be that guy that was, he's off again. He's off again. He just took somebody.
I had no business being on the track, Warren, and if I did it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Next year, you need to think about that, or this coming year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be back up there.
If I'm confident enough, I'll definitely be in there.
Yeah.
For sure. That
So-
was what was. I didn't want because I went to internationals. I used to sail,
Oh, okay.
and I was sailing. It was just horrendous conditions. Like we had 1 meter waves, and I was on a downwind leg, and I'm just flying down the course. And I took this guy out, and I felt so bad. I took myself out of the race. I retired, and because he was winning, and I took him out.
Oh.
I didn't see him because the waves were rolling like
Right.
this, and I just came down, and there he was. It was like he was tacking across him.
Yeah. That's one of those racing incidents, though. You didn't mean to do that. It wasn't
No,
on purpose,
absolutely not. But
but it happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
So we miss anything? You have to be marshalling. I don't want to keep you from
I'm
your job.
actually gonna.
Should you be helping pit?
I will be marshalling again. Yes, in a minute. When we do the next driver change, which should be 5 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. So, man, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Glad
Thanks for
you
having
jumped
me.
on.
It was great to
You're the first person I got to interview because
Really?
it's the first hour was kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
A lot of troubleshooting, a lot of
we were
things.
Trying to settle down,
But now everything is starting to really.
and I'm missing a bumper. I'm gonna have to go find my bumper.
Yeah.
But
Save the bumper.
Yeah, we hot glued the one on. We had 2 cars, and we hot glued the bumper because
Yeah.
that did happen while we were racing.
Yeah.
It tumbled, and the bumper popped off, and then it started cutting the tire. So
Right.
I glued that one, but I did not glue this one. This car really didn't do a lot to it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the tires.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's like keeping it easy to entry. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Like the rules didn't allow for you to do a lot to these cars, and I think that's actually kind of good. The racing's been competitive. Yeah.
The guys were talking about the car that's got the fastest lap right now. He changed his gearing, and you can see they're in 3rd place right now, but they're on 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got that speed down the straight,
Yeah.
but
It's
we're able to pass him all
Yeah.
in the twisties, right?
yeah. That's right.
And then
Yeah, you got to find the happy medium.
and then a lot of times he was missing his brake points here, and then he hits the wall.
Yeah. Crushing. There's been some pretty crazy crashes. Oh, looks like we got a track call. Pulls the apple out of his pocket.
He's got an apple in his pocket.
Joe.
Reading on the fly.
That's efficient right there. That's efficient. Well, Warren, thanks, man.
Snacks. Thank you, Marty.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you for the support.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
rooting for everyone that's rooting for us.
Yeah.
It's been
How do they get a hold of
fantastic.
you?
Love the community.
How do they find you online?
Lighttechslots.ca.
There you go. Lighttechslots.ca.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Warren. Yep.
We'll
Take
see-
care.
We'll see you soon.
Yep.
Bye,
Jim,
guys.
I just thought
want to jump in?
I just wanted to sing a sad story about how things are going for us.
Uh-oh. So, yeah, what is going on with the car?
Well, it's not the car.
Okay.
We thought it was the car.
All right.
The car was erratic. It was fine for about 10 laps, and then it was really hard to drive. No brakes. The brakes disappeared completely, and no power out of that corner. We thought, all right, maybe we got a bad chip. We hung on, stayed with it. Then we were allowed to substitute a car. Substituted the car, was fine for about 10 laps and did the same exact thing. Okay, well now it's got to be the controller. So we stayed with that for a while until the next break. Then we swapped out the controller, went back to the backup car. Now it's stable.
Now you're-
But
now
we're
you're
30
good.
laps down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
It's learning, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta
Well,
figure it
our
out.
plan was to run true speed controllers. We don't have a lot of experience with wireless controllers. We don't use them a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like them for events where
Yeah.
people can walk off with them, where it's
Right.
just hard
Sure,
to know
yeah.
what's where.
Right.
So we were going to use true speed controllers, but we hadn't expected to see you on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even with the long wires, that was going to be awkward.
Yeah.
And I did try connecting a true speed with a long wire, but when we already had all those wireless connected, I don't think we can add one.
Right.
So, oh well.
That's all right.
You know, we're here for fun,
Yeah. Well, I think everybody now that the
Yeah.
race has settled down, the first hour is a little chaotic.
always.
But-
I think she's taking pictures and video for me.
Good, so you can watch it
And-
vicariously through her.
Yeah, yeah. And then the plan is after the race, that's what we're going to do. But
Okay, good.
I know it's going to. The problem with that is once the race is over, we're throwing the switch and we're putting the analog stuff on. And
Gotcha.
we're going to play with that.
Yeah.
That is rock solid, reliable on this track, and I got a lot of interesting old cars. You got to drive some of my 60-year-old slot cars.
Man, I would love to. I can't wait to see those get pulled out.
Yeah.
I'm excited about seeing that, and I'm glad we finally got to meet in person.
Yes,
We've had a lot of conversations offline, and
Yeah.
did the live stream. Gosh, that's
Well-
been almost 2 years ago, but it's been good.
It's been almost 2 years. I've been meaning to come up and see you, but been pretty busy. We've been doing a lot of events, doing
Oh,
a lot
good.
of traveling with Nomad Raceways.
Yeah.
A lot in Florida, a lot in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Been to Chicago a couple times, and
Yeah, you did
but I
a
flew,
few.
So
Yeah,
we
you did a
flew
few of the
over here.
F1 races, right? I mean,
Yeah, we did Miami, and that was cool because in Miami we had a Top Gear style leaderboard.
Yeah.
And on Thursday, when the drivers were doing their media stuff, we were in the ESPN booth in the clubhouse that's reserved for VIP drivers and crew. So the drivers came by, did their interview for ESPN, and then we had them do a qualifying session and rank them on the board. And then for the rest of the weekend, anyone could step up and run a race, and we
Try
put
to-
their time
yeah.
on the board. So it was fun to see some of the slot racers slot in over the real guys.
Yeah.
Drogovic, the backup driver for Aston Martin,
Okay.
was the fastest. So he was at the top of the board until late on Sunday. But honestly, every 15 minutes, his assistant came by to check.
He wanted that top spot.
Yes, yes.
That's fantastic.
Every day, he'd come by, we see him take a picture, and kept him informed.
Because as soon as he was not there, he was getting a phone call and he'd show up.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
So it's good. And the of course we also did that event for Ferrari in Maranello.
Yeah.
Where when they first called us up, they said, well, we want you to bring a track, and I'm trying to decide what to bring.
Yep.
And they said, well, we want it, like 30 feet by 20 feet and, a big impressive track. And it's like, okay, for how many people? I'm trying to figure out the flow. They said 2. I said, is it the drivers? They didn't want to tell me that at first.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the drivers. Oh, okay. I said, well, that's the Maranello weekend. That's the Imola weekend. So we should do Imola. So we did a replica of the Imola track. They recognized it immediately when they walked in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And we had an appointment with them. Of course, their time is all carefully allocated. We had 3 days really of setup, because they did they had a full video crew with camera guys, lighting guys, gaffers, the full thing. And so a lot of cooks in the kitchen, the directors making changes along the way as far how they're setting things up. So we got all the setup done, and the morning of the setup, there was a problem, because the director comes in, and of course he's in charge, but the Ferrari gatekeeper sent him away because he arrived wearing shorts. Now I know in Italy you can't wear shorts in a church, but apparently Ferrari headquarters counts. So they sent the director.
No way.
Yeah, on the day of the event, the director had to go back and change. So
because he had shorts.
And then 20 minutes before the event, after all of this, we're like, okay, we're ready for the drivers, everything, And 20 minutes before the event, there was a citywide power failure. Everything went down. Right. Well, we had lights, emergency lights. But we had people stuck in the elevators, and And so 2 hours later, we're like, well, are we gonna get the drivers back or not? We did, and they did a great video of it. But so there's always challenges.
Yeah, but you've gotten to do some pretty cool stuff with slot cars over the years.
Well, when you're a kid that turns your passion into a career, sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
sure.
did that with the bicycle industry, and I did it with slot cars.
Yeah.
And I followed my passion. Not maybe the best financial decisions along the way. I living in San Diego, I never thought I could afford a home out there on what we did. And my wife Susan, of 43 years now, still loves me. She's worked with me. We worked together at the bicycle company for 44 years.
Wow.
And she's been supportive all along the way, letting me do this, or helping me do this. Really, I shouldn't say let. We sold the bicycle company to focus full time on slot cars. The portable events, nomad events business was doing well enough that we were going to focus on that. We were going to use the proceeds from selling the bicycle company to up that game. We had planned originally a large retail location in San Diego, but we put that on hold when I sold the bicycle company, because they required that I reestablish it in Little Rock. So I had to focus on that when my partner maintained the mobile events business. The end of that obligation, I was ready to go back to it full time, but that's when COVID started. So now I had no bicycle company and no mobile events company.
Right.
So we hunkered down in Little Rock and found a way to work from home, and that really was part of the focus for the Omni slot box, because when I downsized from 11 slot car tracks, all custom tracks. I'm not talking sets. I'm talking, you know, down to really 2 that I took to Little Rock. I wanted something that would run all my toys. And I have my first HO car, and I've got, you know, pro level wing cars, and I want to run them all. Right. I knew that I couldn't count on the local raceways. There were some there, but they don't usually last. You know, we run everything on the Omni slot box and have a good time with it.
Yeah. So how's that side going? Staying busy with the Omni slot box?
It's going just about right. And what I mean by that is they're all hand built.
Right.
And they're meticulously built. My partner in this, Rodney Weber, is really OCD about this stuff, and he's very, very meticulous, and he takes his time building them right. And we're selling them about as fast as we make them. Yeah. On the web store, you'll often see it'll say out of stock, but we've never had anybody wait more than a week. So we're fantastic. You know, they do come in and out of stock, but we don't have a big backlog. And we have a regular web store. You can shop it like any other web store. We have been building more related inventory. I mean, we started with the Omni slot box and added controllers and adapters and the obvious things that people would want when they go from digital to digital plus analog. But now we have you know, some of our favorite cars, stuff that the club guys like to run, and other stuff. But you know, just a sort of a curated inventory. I'm not trying to carry everything. I'm not trying to compete with Press Motor on inventory. Just carrying the things that we think our customers want. Sure. Yeah. And so.
And you've added some options to the Omni slot box. You have the emulator now, right?
Yeah. Well, the original one had the meters on the front, and the big thing that I wanted for my track initially was to be able to run everything, which meant true analog that could stand up to high amperage. Right. So we beefed up
motors with big draw and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, your wing cars.
Right. So the CU is extensively modified in addition to the outside box to allow for that. Yeah. You know, if I want to run my open wing cars, I can do that. And our Carrera track at the club it feels a little bit like a hybrid between a typical commercial Carrera track and a commercial track, because it's very swoopy and most of the turns have a little subtle bank to them. And we do very lightly spray glue. The spray glue is something that I started when we were in San Diego and the track was in a dusty environment. Yeah. And I think one of the real drawbacks to slot car racing, I think one place that we lose a lot of people is this scenario. You've got a wonderful slot car track in your home, and it could even be in your living room that's really clean, but when I come over and you want to show off your track, and especially if I'm a new guy, the first thing I learn is it's a lot of maintenance, because the track is undrivable until you've done 50 laps and used up a pile of lint roller. Right. Right? Yeah. So to me, that's a big negative first impression. And we use a little bit of spray glue so that my tracks in San Diego, in a warehouse environment, open, you know, at any time, we could put a car on and boom, it's ready to go. Yeah. And that's just because we put just enough spray glue down so that the dust and rubber and that lands on the track stays on the track. Right. So the silicone tires don't clean the track and make it undrivable for the rubber. See, the rubber tires love the rubber. Right. And the silicone tires clean it. The silicone tires like a clean track, so that they're generally not compatible. But if you spray glue so that the stuff doesn't collect on the tires, it rubbers in like a real racetrack. Yeah. And I know that I'm an outlier on this, and a lot of people are really allergic to the idea of putting anything on plastic track, and the manufacturers tell you can't do it. Right. I've had people tell me, no, if you do that, it's going to damage the track. One of our event tracks, which has thousands and thousands of hours on it, 20-year-old track, Carrera track built 20 years ago. It's been indoors, outdoors, it's been in the rain. It's been used, at least 3 times a week for almost 20 years. It's on the original Carrera track, and it has always been spray glued.
Yeah.
Definitely not a problem.
Right.
So I'm a big proponent on that. The other issue with that, frankly, is that the solvent that you dilute it with is naphtha, which used to be really readily available in paint stores as VHMT naphtha.
Yeah.
It's an additive that's used in home oil paint.
Right.
But that has largely disappeared from states that are trying to reduce their VOC because it's not really necessary, and it's a solvent that they found other green solutions for. But the green solutions really don't work
Right.
when it's mixed for this purpose. The fallback is to use Coleman camp fuel,
Right.
which is the same thing, naphtha, and that is readily available in camping stores.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is you got to buy a gallon, which is going to last you forever.
Right.
Because we mix up a pint and that lasts us 6 months.
Turn, bud.
Yep.
Thumb up.
Jim, thanks. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right. Let me give you the rundown.
78%. I'm just checking.
Oh, no, you're right. Looks like first place is Maple Syrup with 451. Second place is Old Guys back in second place, 435. That battle for second and third is really good with the rerun racers there on lap 434. North Huffman Raceway 428, Decoder at 406, and Blue Water at 217 in sixth. So guys, we got a really good race up top. The Maple Syrup guys are just managing the race really well. Looks like we're going to be back at racing here. We are we're almost halfway through, or 2/3 of the way through the race. We're actually at the halfway mark. And we are back racing. Let's turn the action back over to some hairpin action. Okay, we're good. So that was Jim Cunningham, who is the owner of Nomad Raceways, which is a traveling events speedway that he sets up in lots of different places. And then he also builds the Omni slot box and has a website out there. So check out his website. And if you are looking for a box that's a digital to analog converter, Jim makes a high quality box that you can run any slot car on the track in analog mode. So it was good to catch up with him. Great to catch up with Warren. So that felt good. To finally just not be me talking. So as you can see, the guys are starting to really understand this hairpin. settled in. Doing a great job. The wind is really picking up. Wow. So I'm going to go see what's going on in. John says, this is awesome. All the racing possible covered by many people. Get it out there. Yeah, John, thanks. Appreciate that. Harry is still tuned in. Thanks, Harry. Doug says, hi, Warren, when Warren was on. Ernest, thanks, Ernest. Glad you guys are enjoying the coverage. We 57 people, 63 thumbs up. Gosh, thanks, guys. Means a lot. So I think at one time we had like 87. That was fantastic. We are almost 3 hours into the stream, but only about halfway through the race. At the end of this 20-minute stint, we will officially have been through 2 rotations, so there'll be 1 hour left. So let's see. Jen, I'm not sure. They were dealing with. They're trying to help some of these teams if they had a car problem. They've done some track calls to try to help people get cars back running and counting laps. So decoder chips sometimes could be an issue. So that's what they've been trying to do. Again, the race is as much a learning experience as it is a highly competitive race, right? Oh, I see that. That was during a driver change. Thanks, Nico. Hey, Marty. Hey, no problem. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's a beautiful day and people are out doing lots of things. I appreciate you tuning in. Someone really needs to make the Garage 56 Le Mans car. DJ Patrick, they could run some bank turns in here if they wanted to, but most of the digital parts are Carrera, and the analog, the regular track pieces are all the Scale Auto, and Scale Auto doesn't make bank turns, so that's probably why we don't see any bank turns. Got some cars leaving the show. It's a great day for motocross. Hey, thanks, JDC. Yep. Jim Cunningham, thanks to Warren and Jim for jumping on. I really appreciate that. We'll get Joe on. Most of the other guys don't want to talk to me. I'd love to get Oliver, but he's too busy being the track manager, the race manager. So, but maybe we'll get him at the end. All right. Yeah, Greg, we're just a touch over halfway. After this stint, we will have three stints left. Oh, somebody's getting excited. The 24 stuff needs to be cleaned from decades of traction, glue, and dust. Mike, thanks, man. This is the first time I've ever covered a race, so I really wasn't sure what to do. But thanks to Ian and Doug, they gave me a good blueprint, and I've tried to take some cues from those guys. So let me spin this mic around so you guys get a little better sound. Ian, brother, man, thanks. What time is it over there? about 9:15, 9:20 your time. Hey, thanks. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Just so you guys know, Ian and Doug are going to come on to the live stream. We're going to do a special live stream a little earlier in the day. We got to put a date together, but over maybe the next 3 or 4 weeks, I would love to get those guys. Love to go get those guys. We got a car off the track. Car off the track. There you go. It's going. And so I'm excited about that. Get a chance to sit down and talk to those guys. And we'll share experiences of managing just a race like this. It's a little chaotic.
Now we'll do one more, but we're going to cut it at least 40 minutes early because we're way over. We're having a lot of computer issues. So we're going to finish this heat with 12. I'll do one final heat, and then we're going to finish it off early, okay?
All right.
Reset it right now. Try and get this car to get fixed. But like I said, after next heat, that'll be the last one. All right? Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Ian, I can't wait either. I've been looking at the calendar. I'm working around some vacation time. I've got two events in July that are gonna might cause problems on Tuesdays. So probably tonight when I get home, I will send you guys an email. So you'll probably wake up with something in the morning with some dates to look at. But I can't wait till you guys are on. Really looking forward to it. So we'll get that out there, and I'll get it announced early because I think it'll be fun. So just so you guys know, lots of action in that turn, good coverage. Yeah, let me bring you back to the main shot, guys. So I have learned a lot about. Oh, I just messed that up. I think I hit the wrong button. So 3 ball. So look at our drivers. Look at the focus. So Oliver just made an announcement on that last track call that I think we have a time that we have to be out of the space, and when the museum closes. And so I think that's what we're looking at. Is we're going to finish this stint, and we're going to run one more. So we're going to cut it about 40 minutes short. So it won't be a complete 3 hours. So we're right at the 3 hour mark total. So looks like we're going to run about 2/3 of the race. So I get it. Again, we've fought some gremlins today. He's having computer issues. It's been a challenge, but all in all, I think the guys around the track have really had a good day. And of course, we've got the best backdrop you can imagine, the car show. So good stuff. Yeah, Greg, you heard it right. Cutting. So yeah, we're running 2 hours and 20 minutes instead of 3 hours. So, which is great. So I think what he needs to. Yeah, they're having lap counting issues. I would probably blame it on the chip. Bryce, thanks for tuning in, man. I'm glad we could help. Been a rainy Saturday. I think we got maybe that rain coming this direction. It's beautiful right now, but Cloverleaf, yes, I'm getting this. Mike, I'm getting the same breeze that you're getting. I'm not that far away from you. So, yeah, the breeze has been really nice for as warm as it is. Good stuff. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Greg, I think I told you in the live stream, I have dates for October. We've got a place at the beach, and we're coming to visit Aunt and Uncle in St. Pete. And so we'll have to meet up when I'm down there. So I'll send you a message about that. Yeah, good stuff. Looks like the venue is open until 6. So, but yeah, we've got some work ahead of us to pack up and leave. So, good stuff, though. Harry, thanks, man. I think so. I think we've just learned a lot of lessons, right? I think that's the part of this is you just got to do it. And I think that this is going to become an annual thing at this space during this weekend when they do this Mopar event. And so, yeah, we'll just continue to plan to come back and be a part of it. So maybe the race changes a bit. But we'll take what they learned. Oliver's good at this. We'll take what he learns, and we'll come back next year with corrections and some tested equipment that we know will get the job done. So, yeah, good stuff. It's a great first try. Where do the corner walls come from? Those corner walls here are corner walls that are Scale Auto. I believe those are the stock Scale Auto fencing. You can go right through them if you hit them hard enough. Mike, I'm well aware you are. I thought about going, but schedule did not allow it. Yeah. Rob Hall was going to come over too and visit, but I didn't hear from him. I don't know if the schedule didn't work out. Can a 3-lane track with closer lanes, squeezed lanes, be a future option? Steven, I don't know. A 3-lane, I don't think there's a plastic version of 3-lane. It would take a lot of single-lane Carrera pieces to make a 3rd lane. I think that it's the no-brainer and the cheaper way is to go from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. But this would be a great big layout. This would be a gigantic 4-lane layout. You have to have a lot of track to do it. But it's doable. But with squeeze lanes and things like that in the plastic track and digital, I don't know. Not sure how that'd work. You're at the store today. Cool. Are you guys racing there, Mike, today? Or are you just open, selling slot cars? Curvy, hey. I will say, yeah, I'll give him a shout out. I'll try to get Joe's attention, see if I can get him over here.
Oh yeah, that's just scraping around.
Yeah, the diffuser striking there.
Luckily somebody knocked my diffuser out, just like that.
Let's see, I'll give you a track update. 522 laps for Maple Syrup, still in first place. 508 for the rerun racers. North Huffman, 498. Old Guys, 497. And we've had a lot of movement in that second, third, and fourth place, but the Maple Syrup guys have just been super solid, which has been great to see. And the Decoders, they're coming up, 470. They got a shot at chasing down the Old Guys here. And then Blue Water, 250. Man, they just struggled early in the race. did not help them much. Let me give you the. Give you a little racing action here in the corner. Sorry, guys. Just filling some people in.
Yes, sir. It's all right there. Okay. Well, I might want to, if we're going to do one more thing, I'd like to at least race one more time.
I think the Merce may be his good luck charm. That's what I'm thinking. It ain't over till it's over. That's right, Nico. You've raced a few races yourself. You know that. Car problems, something goes wrong. Pretty easy, something like that to happen. You'll never hear the end of that. That's right. Spent this whole time not realizing I had my hat backwards. For 5 hours. One more heat. We have 20 minutes left of this race. Let me give you an update. We have 20 minutes. 20 minutes left. 20 minutes of the race left. And 549 laps for maple syrup. 534 rerun racers, 524 old guys, 523 North Huffman. What a great race we have for third and fourth place. Third and fourth place are one lap. We're almost 2.5 hours into this, and 2 hours into this, and they are one lap apart. 492 for Decoder and 250 for Blue Water. Last 20 minutes. Here we go, guys. Which one is it? Right, yeah. I'm missing that. Have you tried the FT slot technique? That's a good chip. I've had really good luck with it. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Yeah, I think a few people are having some problems. It's frustrating. Here we go, the last 20 minutes of the race. Yeah, losing laps. Yeah, I was wondering what was happening there. Gotcha. Yeah, it's got to be in the right spot. Yeah, if it is too far back, anytime it drifts. It's close enough that it'll pick it up. Yep. Yeah, I noticed that early on when I was chipping my first couple analog cars, is that chip has got to be as far forward as you can get it, because if not, yep. If it's too far, it'll drag the track. So you got to find the right.
Already cars like the newer NSR cars.
The Revo slots are that way too. Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice that they're doing that. But it's very nice that they're doing that. You know. So sit down, John. I'll put you on. So we got John Erdman with this. John, they've been having some trouble. Let me. I got to change the camera here. Having some issues with the cars, but so talk about the track. What do you think? You put a lot of energy and effort into this. Yeah. Yep. Oh wait.
Now I feel like a pro.
Yeah. Yeah. So so you guys have been here the last 2 days putting this together,
I got
right?
here Friday morning, 9 a.m.
Friday morning, 9 a.m.
Thursday, a lot of the guys from up here at the Red Barn were setting up already.
Okay.
And Ollie was here Thursday till 11 o'clock. I got here in the morning. I worked with them till 11 o'clock. Friday night we were working. Then I got back up at 5 this morning, was programming all the cars in for us and the teams in for us. For just all the teams programming in took me 3 hours almost.
Oh,
time
wow.
to get them in it, 'cause everybody's giving me names and that was kind of cool. And then, like I said, Ollie's been doing a great job, and that was nice that Joey's here.
Yeah.
That was really good. He helped with the digital, and you're busy, so we couldn't get
Yeah.
your digital thoughts in on it.
Yeah, I think he runs it every day. I haven't actually run it for a while because I've been testing fast laps for Patrick, and so I know that they thought about using that possibly.
Yep.
But curious. Today the biggest you learn a lot.
Oh, yeah.
First time
First
event
time.
like this, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we just take good notes, and fix some things, and it's just a beautiful venue. I mean,
this
this
is
place
gorgeous.
is unbelievable.
I haven't been here in 20 years, and I can't
Oh,
believe
really?
to walk in here. What it's doing.
I've never been here, but it's always been on my list
Yep.
of places to,
Did
car
you-
museums
you
to
didn't
go
even get
to.
a chance to go through the museum.
Well,
did
I
you?
kind of, I took about
out
15 minutes
Okay.
earlier
Yeah.
before the race started, and I
Yep.
just ran through with my camera and
Yep.
videoed as much as I
Did you see
could.
the Professor Motor Track he's got permanently set up in
yeah,
here? That
yeah,
was
it's
really
great,
cool. We
yeah.
went around a few craps. The kids
Yeah.
were there and stuff. We were
Yeah,
showing the kids.
there was a bunch of kids when
Yeah.
I went by.
Yep.
So, so how far away are you from here?
Almost 3 hours.
You're 3 hours,
Yeah,
okay.
So I brought my fifth wheel, and my wife's over in the fifth wheel hanging out in the
camping
air
out.
conditioning.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
And so at home, you've got a big shop where you've been restoring an old
track and
old
rebuilding
track,
the whole
right?
building inside too.
Yeah.
That's quite a.
So now you got the
lot.
track up and running now.
Yes,
and
all I have is my lap times out there. Work my computer end of it later
Okay.
on. I'm not in a hurry for that because
Yeah.
right now I can get eight, 9 guys without advertising.
Yeah.
For Sunday afternoon, we
Yeah.
usually after 12:30, 1 o'clock, they come over and we hang for the afternoon. race.
Fantastic.
Whatever we bring, they'll bring flexies, they'll bring womps, silicones.
Yeah.
What else we got? 132nd, 124.
124, yeah.
Then we just get together, hang out, and just
Oh yeah, fun time.
test their cars and whatever everybody's
Yeah.
bringing in. They want to test for that week if they're going to be racing.
Now, if I remember right, you posted when you bought that track. It was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took and I tore out. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So when I took it apart, I tore all the braiding off, everything, whether it was right or wrong. I
Yeah.
started messing around. I said, I'm just tearing it off. I pulled and pulled and pulled. And I had a pile of braids sitting there that
Yeah.
big around. And my friend John Allard, he said, you can save that braid. I'm like, no. He says, braid don't go bad. So I said, okay. So I got a great big piece of drag strip track I had
Yeah.
given to me, just blank wood it was. And I'd take it all and tape it down on each end, smooth it all out, and then I'd double contact cement on both sides of it, and I'd put it
Yeah.
on there, and it straightened all that track back out. I was able to use 90% of that track again.
No way.
Yeah, and I only had to buy 500 feet of track of
Braid,
braid
yeah.
for that whole
Fantastic.
8-lane, 130-foot track, 135-foot track.
Yeah.
So
That was a big savings.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at it was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that made the track affordable, and then the guy sold it to me super cheap because he had 4 tracks up in his attic, I would call it. One was a King, one was my the hill climb, compact hill climb they call it, and then the other one was a Scorpion. Then he had a 65-foot drag strip up there too.
Wow.
I didn't know the barn was that big when we walked up to it. It was a auto body repair shop.
Okay.
And it was his hobby.
Yeah.
He thought he'd have all the guys come up and race him. It was pretty cool. So he said, he was asking 25. I offered him 1,000. He said, can't do that low. I said, well,
Yeah.
what would you think? I said, I can do 15. I said, well, I can tell you right now, it's not leaving the state.
Yeah.
So out of the 4 tracks, all the other them went out of state.
Yeah.
So he's happy to keep that, and I said, and he's going to set up where he can come up and race on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I found a couple of the other owners of it too already now. So it's had 4 owners since it was Ogilvy track.
Okay.
And
When was it built?
in the mid '90s, I'd say.
Okay,
Yep,
mid-90s.
Yep. And Ogilvy built it. NSR drag strip racer guy bought it for his barn for when the guys come over to work on his dragster. His team could go and race on the track on the side.
Okay.
And then from there, it went to Motor City at Mound and 16 Mile Road. That was Motor City Raceway, I think is what it's called. And I ran into Don the other day, and he's starting to race on the track again with me.
Yeah.
So I got him as an owner that's there, and then the other owner, and then the other one was Joe Dumar's Fieldhouse owned it for quite a few years too.
Okay.
So it's 4 owners so far, and then me. So
It's moved around a little bit.
yeah, yep. And it's in good shape as far as no warpage or anything, no damage, water damage, and so the way I did it though, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I taped every lane, each side of it, and then I painted all down the center with a little paintbrush on all 8 lanes of that whole thing. That took a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was fun. It was kind of therapeutic
Yeah.
almost.
Oh sure. Yeah.
And then, but I come to find out, I was at a estate sale, and I found this paint stripper. A lot of the old guys knew about it. It's a roller with a little paint thing goes inside. You fill it with paint, and it rolls, and it's got a little piece of steel that comes out the side of it, and then you just run around the track and you make your race around with that. So that would have been a whole lot easier.
Saved you some time.
Yeah, the only good part is I got all the center painted, and that smoothed out the track even more.
Okay.
When I put the contact cement on,
Gotcha.
I put that on pretty heavy, and I put the braids down pretty heavy with
Yeah.
contact, and it smoothed that whole track out. It's pretty
Yeah.
smooth now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had some video of like you had a big camp out or something over the winter.
Yeah, we do
That's
winter moto camp. My son
Okay.
owns a business. He does summer moto camp. It's Moto, Michigan.
Okay.
And it's an event center combination, social event center. That's
Yeah.
And it's got memberships. They join a membership, so they got a big barn. It's a big, like a factory building down in Ferndale, in Michigan. And so they come up, their whole group of guys will come up and they'll do a motorcycle combination, hot rods, in the middle of winter, sub-zero cold.
Yeah.
And they'll camp out. They'll run the electric bikes, electric cars, all that kind of stuff out there. They'll race.
That's
they'll
cool.
have them all out there, and they'll do a big weekend out of it, like we're doing here.
Yeah.
And so they come in and set that up, and then I got the track up this year for the first
Yeah.
time, and I'm starting to finish the barn, and they're all hooked.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So I've got a few ideas for some of their cars and stuff. I got some dune buggies and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, that's cool.
The one was hanging on the wall in the video there we did. And I got some of the models. I'm going to make his model dune buggy and make it so it'll go on a track when we're done for next year. You can see his
cool.
dune buggy running around the track that he's got. He'll probably bring it up finished next year. So.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, it's been a trip. It's been a short time. I've only been doing it since 2023. My wife was like, she's ready to string me up sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I know all about that.
Yep. You understand.
Make a trip to Michigan, and my wife is like, "You're doing what?"
Yep.
But at least I've got video proof that this is what I was actually doing.
You were actually doing it. Yep. Yep.
Just watch the stream.
My wife calls them the slut cars.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't have somebody on the side. I just got my cars.
That's right.
And a track now, and then a Carrera track, and that's where I learned all the digital stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've learned a lot on the just from the Carrera side of it. Like you have practice, watching videos.
Yeah, watching
I
videos.
have a video on all the time, listening to it. You guys, all of them.
That's how you learn. Well, so what do you think of this track? Like the layout? Do you enjoy it?
I like the size of it. It's fun to have a nice long straight. Get your car opened up a little bit. And then come into a hard corner. A few bugs here and there, but he did it's 2 lanes, six cars, 2 lanes, 6 teams. That's
pretty chaotic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The cars are taking some beatings.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad. I wish I had a few more cameras to have a little better camera coverage.
Yep.
So maybe the next time I do this, I'll have a few more cameras to work through.
Got a really nice setup. I was
but
impressed.
yeah, it's not too bad.
Got stream deck going.
Yeah, that camera there has been I've kind of multitasked with it. I've got a couple. It can pan, tilt, zoom. So I've moved it a few times during the race so the guys get a closer look.
Corner. That's nice. Yep.
But it hasn't been the best coverage for guys, but I've tried to do the best of what equipment I had without making a big investment.
It looks great.
So
you got investment here.
Yeah.
So what's kind of funky when you're coming around the side and you'll see it looks like a flag blowing on the side. Well, it comes up like that. It throws your eyes off when you come through.
Yep.
When your eyes come through.
2, 3.
Thank you. So in it's like having flags blowing next to you on a racetrack. It's
distracting.
It's distracting, but
we
it's cool because
we appreciate the breeze.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it's hot today. Yeah. Yesterday in here it got really hot.
That's what Oliver said.
We were dying by the end of the evening. It was like,
Yep.
And then, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat place though. The car setups here. And
really cool
they
museum.
Went all out for us here for the venue. They went all out for us.
It's been pretty amazing. Been a great experience.
You got a Ford GT sitting in the middle of what we're doing. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I brought about 6 Ford GTs when everybody wasn't here this morning.
Yeah.
I had the Fords out here and I was racing a couple of them around. A few people were coming in and let them run the track with us. So the people walking by early, they got some experience on the track.
That's
I
cool.
thought that was really cool. It was just me here.
That's really cool.
From 5:30 this morning until everybody got here. So but I got to watch all the cars come in. Yeah. So that was cool, and you can hear them all come by this morning. That was cool.
We've been. I think some of the guys on the live stream have been enjoying some of the cars leaving and starting up, and hear them in the background.
Yep. That's nice about the live stream too. People they're communicating with you. It helps. Because it gives you something to talk about. If you're not, because I'm talking your ear off right now.
Oh no, you're good. Well, the first hour and a half, we didn't have anybody to interview because everybody was so focused on trying to figure out what was going on and what was going on with the cars and lap counting and all that. But the last hour or so, it's been pretty relaxed, and so
people are able to
most
come
people,
over a little more.
So I've had Jim, I've had Warren. I've been trying to get Joe, but he keeps hiding from the camera.
Yeah.
So
we gotta get him on for a few minutes here if we can.
Yeah.
And then they Oliver puts a lot of time into this.
He does.
A lot of money too.
Yeah, he cares a lot for the hobby.
Yep. And he wants
So.
to see it draw more interest on the digital end of it. Maybe it'll bring some of the younger generation in for us. That's what he's thinking too.
Yeah.
So I know it was a little confusing getting it going, and
Yeah. But we got to figure it
it's
out.
still fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just got to do better, more digital-ready cars and durable cars. Carrera cars, honestly, you just can't beat them when it comes down to
They're
durability.
so tough,
They're set
yeah.
up for it.
They're made.
pretty
That's what
quick
they're
out
made
here.
for.
I've had the NASCAR one out here. It's pretty darn quick. A stock motor, just put some silicones on it, quick slicks, and it was running really nice out here.
Oh, yeah, I'm
with
sure.
with some magnets.
Yeah.
But I can see why the magnet racing would be fun too.
Yeah.
I've seen some guys like Jim Cunningham. He runs glue on his Carrera track. On his Carrera track.
Yeah.
Did he talk to you about that?
Yeah,
That
we
was an
talked about it,
interesting
yeah.
conversation for me to talk to him, learn about that a little bit. And then there's a 4-lane track that Don Alexander has, and he glues the whole track like the old school.
Yeah.
Then they run their flexies and womps, and boy, those things are fast.
Yeah, they are. It's pretty incredible.
It's like around my track in 2 to 3 seconds at 135 foot.
That's crazy.
And my best cars probably, though, I've been running some of the really good laps were Revo slots.
Yeah.
The track lights heavy cars.
Yeah. I'm sure it
I guess
does.
a
Yeah, the
Revo
wooden
slot would be similar to an old school
Oh, yeah. Brass chassis. Yeah.
and it would run good on a track that's a nice big flowing track 'cause it's got big curve, one high bank, and then it flattens out, and it does pretty good. But you get
It looks good.
probably the average lap time 6 seconds or less.
Yeah.
On some of the Revo slots, I think our best was like 5.7, 5.5.
Nice.
Pretty quick
Still
for
quick,
that big
yeah.
track.
It is.
Pretty stock. Pretty much stock.
That's fantastic.
I was,
Just tell you how much traction they get. And
Yep.
Just really like that.
Silicones on the wood. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
They do real well on that.
Yeah,
Got to
they
keep
do.
it clean, though. I found that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, you do.
Yep. So we have
Yeah,
to mop
silicone's
it.
like-
Especially when I'm still doing all the construction work in there.
Oh,
And the
gosh,
guys
yeah.
are like, can we come? You can come, guys, but I am working out here. It's going to be a dusty mess. You're going to have to clean it up. And then, So the guys all pitch in, they clean it up.
That's
and
cool.
Get it ready, and then they can race. And 15, 20 laps into it, it stays pretty good as long as I ain't going to try and work construction on them while they're in there. I told them, though, I got to concentrate now. I've only got about 20 more feet to go.
Yeah.
And then the
You're
end
getting
wall.
close, yeah.
And right there, and then I got to insulate the rest of it, which is a lot of insulation.
Yeah.
I'm putting like an R60 insulation in the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Trying to keep it warm.
I want to light a match,
Yeah.
and it'll heat it in there and
Yeah.
cool it the same way. I've already noticed the cooling difference inside.
I'm sure.
From just like it's 20 degrees difference inside with not even being finished.
Yep.
So that's nice about having a good insulated barn to be able to work on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Affordability.
Plus,
And then-
you get to enjoy it all year round. Right?
Yep. That was my key. So I got a 5-year plan. I keep telling everybody.
Yep.
I got 5 years to retire. 5 years, 400 hours. How's that?
There you go. There you go.
So.
I can't beat that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, John D wants to know, hey, what's the deal with the GT40 in the middle? Did the winner get the car?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no. The winner does not get the car.
We had a couple of them out here today, though. A lot of really nice cars. They parked right around here specifically for us to have for this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nick is the curator.
Okay.
And he did a phenomenal job putting it all together.
Yeah, this is wonderful
anything
venue.
They were bringing all the tables and chairs for us and everything. They put a lot of serious time into it.
Fantastic. Dave Slaughter is in the house. Hey, Dave, what's up, man? Welcome. Yes, we were talking about some Revo slots there for a second.
Yeah, baby. I like the Revo slots for sure.
That's right. So let's see when we're at. I do an update here.
Yep.
So maple syrup is still in the lead, 5.99. Rerun racers have run them down, 5.94. 5.94, 5.95. So there's 4 laps. John, thanks, man. Old guys are in third, 5.85. North Huffman, 5.79, 5.47. So wow, we really tightened it up. The maple syrup, 6:01. They have a 4-lap lead. Their 20-lap lead has all but disappeared. So we've got kind of an exciting finish to this as we wind down the final few minutes of this race. I think we have about 15 minutes left. 14 minutes left of the race. Pretty exciting. See if they can hold on. See if they can hold on. So since that is happening, I will probably just go to this scene, and I will just be feeding you lap times from here on out. How about that? Yeah, 606 to 602, still 4 laps. Maple syrup. Old guys are down to 8% fuel. So who is racing for maple syrup? The last stint is, not sure what his name is. I apologize. 609, 604, 605. Uh-oh. Still maintaining the 4-lap lead.
Bring him back. Bring the lead back. You didn't bring him back. Okay, now clean the tires on it. I want to see something. Okay. No, this is right. Okay. Draco.
You can move that. Got a car under the table. Four and a half minutes left. And we're back to racing. Looks like maple syrup. Jump start. Racing is getting tight. Just maintain. 613 to 608 to 596. So they lost a couple laps having to go into the pits. That was a good marshal there. Change an angle for you there for a few minutes anyway. $6.18 for maple syrup, $6.14 for rerun racers, $6.03 for old guys. North Huffman is $5.97, so they've lost some laps to the old guys. Dakota is $5.67. It made a nice run back to get back into this. And in 6th place is Blue Water, who just really struggling with their car, having a chip issue, just not counting properly. As Greg says, a series of offs can doom you quickly. I like the hairpin view. Yeah, Greg, I need a couple more cameras if I'm going to get serious about covering it. So I've got some ideas, but I'm going to have to spend some money on some cameras, additional cameras. Like I have to give credit to that Pocket, the DJI Pocket 3, Osmo Pocket 3. It catches the action really, really good when you think about this camera angle right here. I mean, I can zoom in a little bit, and they do a nice job at being able to pan, tilt, and create different views. This camera right here is really my main shot camera. It doesn't pick up action super well, so you can see how kind of blurry the cars are when they go by. But it's a nice change up for the rest of the show. I'm disappointed my iPhone camera connection quit working about 10 minutes into the race. It was giving me like mobile views, and then it stopped working, and it just lost connection. It connects via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and there's just a lot of traffic on the Wi-Fi here. But all in all, I can't really complain. 40 seconds, here we go.
40 seconds left. 6:33 for maple syrup, 6:30 for the rerun racers, 6:18 for the old guys. Great race management by maple syrup there at the end. Managed that 4-lap lead, and really just protected their lead. They didn't try to overdo it. There you go. Congratulations to Team Maple Syrup. 636 races. The rerun racers in second place, 632. What a great race. Old guys finished third with 621, 10 laps out of second. A tight race with North Huffman, 614 for fourth, 583 for the Dakoters, and Blue Water wrapping up sixth place in 257. What a great finish to the race. Fantastic.
How about that? The YouTube guys get the win. Congratulations to Warren and Joe. Awesome, awesome stuff. Fantastic. Guys, we're going to call it. We're gonna call it. And thanks for tuning in. This has been live at the Gilmore Car Museum, the Carrera Digital Race, sponsored by NSR and Professor Motor. Shout out to Oliver for having me out to do the live stream. Fantastic job. I know they had some issues, but in the end, great event, beautiful venue. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, we're going to wrap things up. From Hickory Corners, Michigan, thank you. And as always, go have fun racing.